Hello everyone and welcome to the 7th part of the Pirates of the Aquan. Last time. Stuff. Things.
Escaping, killing a lot of fish people, and hiding.
Yes. And also killing their monster that they managed to procure from...
And think we would be scared of. Oh, the fools.
Well, considering you tried to go back to sleep when it showed up.
Well,
Yeah.
it's dead, so yeah, every right was concerned to sleeping.
Yes. However, the creature's corpse is now hanging over the hole that you guys are hanging around, and there's...
Didn't we evacuate that hole already in moved places?
No, that did not happen.
Okay.
If you wanted to do that, you can do that now, but that hasn't happened yet. You just finished defeating the creature. That was the last thing you did.
You guys up for moving, or are we staying in this hole?
Was there some bodies there with potentially armor and I can probably take?
There are marrow, which have very, very small pieces of armor.
I mean, it's better than none, right?
Perhaps.
What was it called? Let me see. I just had it looked up because someone needed because a necromancer wizard needed some. The very first time she could summon both the creatures with animate dead. So yeah, I need to look it up again. That kind of armor had a very special name. Armor scraps or piecemeal or whatever you want to call it.
What bonus does it give?
A very tiny one.
According
It's
to
like
that, what is it?
well,
it's usually 8 plus, I think. 8 plus dex plus your armor, I think.
yeah.
No, the armor is 10 plus dex, and then if you have leather armor, it's 11 or 12 plus dex, and then medium armor, it's plus dex to a maximum of 2, and heavy armor just
Let me
ignores
actually
dex.
double check it if I'm correct, because there's nothing, because skeletons have an armor class of 13, while zombie just has 8.
Yeah, because it's based on their dexterity, because they have minus dexterity means less than 10.
Yeah.
Well, for a lot of things, it's 8 plus whatever, but
It's always 10 plus whatever.
it might be for your armor class different.
The DC is 8 plus skill and
Yeah,
proficiency,
he's right.
but
It
that's a
should.
different thing.
Let's actually see if I can find you the lightest kind of. Well, I don't know what kind of armor it is, but let me actually double check it here, because I can. Well, the lightest armor is, well, leather armor, literally, because it gives you no disadvantage on dex, but 11 plus dex. That's it.
Yeah, so
Okay.
it might be just
11.
Yeah.
It's one more armor class. Sweet.
Cool. So, yeah, fun times. So what are you gonna do?
Well, guys, we staying in this hole or we moving?
I never caught your names, by the way. Since we escaped from the prison.
Well,
I mean,
he only goes by the cursed captain, and I go by Jezai.
My name drowned a long time ago.
Sounds heavy. My name is Gibraltar. Pleased to join the crew if you'll have me.
Well, that's not up to me, that's to my captain.
Yes, technically they do have a captain who is above them.
Mm.
But either way, that crew is not there. So,
Yes, since we're kinda stranded. Just like you, so all we can do is hope they find us and hope they will come to rescue us and hope they won't crash on the rocks.
I told him before I sank the ship that we would be stranded. So he will come.
Question is which of the billions of islands he needs to find. Oh,
there's not quite billions, but sure.
The sea will guide him.
well, I hope you're right.
Well, I'm gonna get both of you, all three of you, to make a history check, actually.
Oh boy.
History, let's see, what do I roll? Oh, that 4 should be eliminated. I still had something on.
1.
So, at 20.
Okay, your character doesn't remember. Okay, with a 20,
Yes.
you're like, you said for those tons of islands that you guys could be on. It's actually true that in the Aquan Sea, which is where you are, it is possible that a creature may take you underwater. It is possible that vortexes suck you underwater and take you to the plane of water. So, they may not just be looking on the islands.
No. They might either have given up or be looking on islands or, well, the plane of water. I think we can. Wait. I just recalled something. I never asked my sending stone back.
That's fun. So you don't have
Wait,
that.
but how do we know we're on the material plane actually?
You don't. That's another issue. That's what I was saying. That's part of what I was
Boy.
saying.
Wait.
You may be on the plane of water.
The sending spell. Let's see.
Well, yeah, if you don't have the item, then looking at the spell.
Yeah, if you don't have it, then it's kind of
Yeah,
useless.
I have one of the sending stones, and here's the other sending stone.
Isn't the spell sending a message?
Yeah, you send a short message of 25 words or less to a creature with which you are familiar. The creature hears the message in its mind to recognize you as a sender if it knows you and can answer in a likely manner immediately.
Yes. So, you don't know where you are.
Yeah, I can send it to other planes, but the thing is,
You don't know where you are, so
Oh.
sending a message might not be helpful, but it's
Yeah,
up to you. If you
there-
want to say anything, you can
there is
do
a
it.
tiny problem with sending as well. There's a 5% chance if I'm on another plane that the message doesn't arrive.
That's a 5% chance.
Mm-hmm.
There's a 95% chance that it will.
Yeah.
Well, I say we just wait and kill any of these creatures we come
Wait,
across.
it does become night in this plane of water, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Some of the planes work differently, but the plane of water is relatively easy to predict. It's just a vast ocean.
Okay, I'm going to ask this. Do I know if the time is is there a time difference on the plane of water than the material plane? Like, if it's like day in the the plane of water, but night in the material plane. Just basic example that I'm giving. Do I know the difference between that?
Like they say in time, or Doctor Who, timey-wimey?
Wibbly wobbly.
Yes. So
That's
the different planes, the time works differently on each, but you're not sure how that works.
Okay.
And
Well,
sometimes it can change.
well, let me just see the sending stones again. I can do this. Until the next dawn. It hasn't been done yet, so it's middle of the night. I'm going to send this message to my captain. I'm going to ask him, what time of day is it right now by you? It's close to
Best
dawn
question.
for us.
Sick
Best
message.
question.
It can be a very important thing, because if the time is different,
Oh,
then
you
I
don't
know
even know
more
the
than
time
enough.
is different. Okay, nice. Best question again.
He might just get confused by the question. Who knows? But we have
Okay,
to
I
roll
still
it.
have a few words.
Okay.
We might be on the plane of water.
Okay.
Might be.
Since you said there's a 5% chance if you're on the plane of water that
Mhm.
it will fail, I need to roll a d100. And if I get a 5 or lower, then it fails. If you're on the plane of water, which you still don't know the answer to that question.
Yes. But I don't know about the message as well. Well, there you go, 99.
Okay. So, you wait. You wait. 3 minutes pass. 4 minutes pass. No response.
Ah, bugger didn't arrive, did it? That's the 5%, isn't it? Or
Yes.
ah,
According to that roll, it should have worked.
okay.
So we're probably on the wrong plane.
It should have worked. So
Or he's dead.
oh, or asleep.
There's a variety of reasons. If you want a list of some, I can give you some with an intelligence check, if you wish.
Does
Sure.
not matter. We are not meant to stay here for long.
13. Yay.
He could be in an anti-magic field, or in an area that prevents such messages from being sent or received.
Oh, bugger.
That's another possibility, along with the other possibilities that you've listed. But usually, if somebody's asleep and is receiving such a message, they realize that the message is being sent. They don't act like it's a dream or something. They realize they're being sent a message.
Okay. Well, we're on our own for now. So I say we finish our rest here. I mean, who the hell will attack us with that thing near us?
Should be finding this witch of yours and make her tell us about the Merfolk of Care, about the leader.
Well, sure, but first we need to rest up.
We just had a long rest.
Well, then we can go and I exactly know where the place is.
Yeah,
But
so you guys finish a long rest.
Yeah,
You,
but I
you
don't
guys can do
know if she will be still there. We can go and look, but I can't promise anything.
Problem number 2, you don't know where you are on the island in relation to the place where she was. So
Just walk around the beach and find a familiar looking spot.
you can do that. That is a possibility. I'm just saying that in relation from where you currently are to where her hut is, you don't know.
Well, let's go, I say.
I just look over to Yahar and I say, I appreciate what you did yesterday. I didn't even take a scratch with your magic, son.
No problem. That's what I usually did in the prison. How I got by.
You'll do fine. Let's just find. You know anything about this leader of the merfolk?
Do I?
He gives you a description of a guy who has like a vest on. Kind of looks mismatched for a fish person, but either way, he has this weird looking vest that he just sort of has his weird clawed hands around, kind of like a rich person. Yes, you've seen him before, however, he's never spoken to you. They don't really speak the same language as you, so from time to time it's not like they just scream at you, and if you don't listen, then they hurt you. So, that's what they usually do. However, this guy just sort of slithers around with his hands on his vest, just sort of looking around. He's kind of odd, but you don't know if he's a leader or what he is, because it's... Actually, you understand Aquan. I'll get you to make a history check. I forgot that you understood Aquan.
History?
Me?
Yeah, history. Just to see if you...
Me or him?
No, him.
Okay.
If
Because I think
he...
Aquan too.
Oh, fuck. Nope.
Okay, you didn't really overhear any particular conversations that would indicate this man's status or creature's status.
So I don't know his whereabouts?
No.
Great.
You don't know where he stays, he just shows up from time to time.
Oh yeah, the Furbolg, Goblin, and Orc we saved. What was it? There were 3 prisoners we also saved.
Actually, one of those guys died.
Oh yeah,
because
that's
he was
true.
punched in the back of the head. But the other 2, as soon as they regained consciousness, as you were gathering sugarcane for supplies, they went into one of those holes, and I said, if anybody doesn't stop them, they just go in one of those holes, and nobody said they stopped him, so
Okay, yeah,
I
that's
remember.
that's what happened.
Yeah, now I recall, yeah. So, there's stupid ID.
Yeah, and all the other slaves just ran away and went in one of those holes. So.
Once we're out, we, well, basically break off base and gonna set up somewhere else. Or we can go find for the house.
Okay,
Well,
well, you have to have a particular goal in mind if you want to roll for it. You can't just have like 5 goals and say 1 roll or anything like that.
Aren't we
well, we're
traveling to
gonna
the
find the
witch's
house.
hut?
Yeah. What you say, Ben?
Aren't we traveling to the witch's hut?
Yeah, let's go find the hut, I say.
Okay, you can attempt to do that with a survival check. See if you can find any
Oh boy.
hints of where you are.
Oh boy.
You actually come to a location that is familiar to you. It's not the hut, but it's a place that you recognize. You see some blood splatter on a tree, which you seem to recall being hauled out of by a harpoon.
This place. We're close.
So you can try to retrace your steps if you
Yeah,
wish from there.
that's what I'm gonna do then.
Alright. So you start walking to this little pond area. And in the middle of this pond type area, it looks like a pond, but from Yar's recollection, most of the bodies of water here are all interconnected, and the marrow creatures can pop out of them at any time, and if you try to run away, they'll tend to pop out of those areas and try to hook you with a harpoon. However, at the moment, this one seems calm. And you see in the middle of it, on sort of, it kind of looks like bamboo stilts. There's a hut standing above the middle of this body of water.
Okay.
Before anyone proceeds on, I'd like to cast aid on everyone.
Which level?
So level 3.
Okay.
What did 8 do again?
So
It
you
gives
get
us temporary HP. And because it's a life cleric, we get an additional temporary HP, which is 2 plus the level of the spell, so another 5, so 15.
yes, plus my wisdom modifier, which is 4, so 19.
You get your wisdom as well?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
So you gain an additional 19 temporary hit points.
19 temporary points.
That lasts for 8 hours.
And because of my mending affinity, I get 3 more.
You have 22 extra hit points.
There we go.
Which could mean life or death, so that's actually helpful. So, guys are standing on the edge of this body of water.
Well, here we are. What was your plan, Kirsty?
I could find her without making too much noise. She might alert the merfolk.
Do you want any protection spells right now, Captain, before you head off?
I think I'd be fine if it's just one witch.
No, she's not one witch and she's not hostile, just to know that.
But she was working with the merfolk.
Perhaps she didn't have much choice.
From what you said earlier, she chose to be here.
Well, that's very true, but still. She's not a combatant. That's for sure.
Good to know. And I will stealth and try and make my way up there.
Okay.
I stumble into the first tree I see.
Well, you walk into the water, and you start swimming over. Do you wish?
Splish, splosh, splish, splosh.
Well, I'm not going to get to that yet. His failure hasn't been made apparent yet.
So I will continue.
Okay, so are you just going towards the hut?
Yeah.
Hut has a ladder that climbs up onto an upper platform which has the hut on it.
Yeah.
So, going up there?
I try and climb up the tree root to be stealthy.
Okay, fair. You manage to do so. You get up onto the upper platform.
Yeah.
Now, from here, you can choose what to do. This is where it'll be important.
I will look around. What entrances do I see?
You see
There are
what
windows,
looks like
there are doors.
there's one window and one door.
Yeah. I
So
will
what do you want to do?
climb in the window.
All right.
Or I will look in first, but then I will climb in the window.
Okay, you peek in the window, and she's just sort of standing in there and looks directly at you as you just sort of instinctively duck back behind the window.
How far away is she from the window? Like on the other side?
She's just sort of sitting on her bed in the middle. There's like a bed, and then there's a table over here, and that's pretty much it. So it's not that big of a hut. And she just sort of glances over towards the window. She wasn't even looking for you, and your head was just sort of peeking in. And
She's like, hello, I'm right here.
You just sort of instinctively duck back behind the window, but you have a feeling she saw you.
Okay. I will. Yeah, I guess I will just move to the door and I will open it if it's open.
There is no door in the doorway, so you can just sort of walk on through.
Okay, I didn't have to kick in anything.
Yeah. You
And
can
I
walk
will
on through.
find her. She's still sitting on the bed, or
Yeah, she doesn't. It's not like she's trying to attack you or anything. She's just sort of sitting there.
I will be wary for now. But I will tell her that I've come looking for information about these merfolk, and I've heard you deal with them on a daily basis.
What do you wish to know?
Who's their leader, and where do they hold up?
I'm trying to get access to that information, but with the stunt you've pulled, they become very closed towards my questions.
And where are they? Where is it that they are the most closed, the most guarded?
She points down.
Any specific direction? There's a huge ocean.
She nods. They don't let me anywhere near where I would like to go to find out the most pertinent information. They only lead me where they wish me to go, and that's about it.
I just realized she can tell us on what plane we are.
Would you be able to spill their blood in order to gain access to these places you'd like to go?
Well, I'd rather not destroy a culture I am attempting to study, but if they were to be destroyed, I would play a more archaeological role than a, well, ambassador role. She's basically saying she doesn't care what happens to them, but she's attempting to study their culture, and
Okay.
having them alive makes it easier to do so.
I'll say this instead then. Well, the tide is turning for them, and they won't be around for much longer. But if you guide us to their leader, we'll leave him with you after he's beaten senseless for questioning.
She just seems to be pondering this for a moment. Make a perception check.
Okay, can I make an insight to see if she is interested
Sure,
about?
you can do that in addition. It's just that this perception check might be helpful.
Yes. Let's see. I'm just trying to remember what my empathic thing was to see if I had. Yes. It was expertise, and I have already calculated that. So there we go. And then perception.
Sure.
Zara and Jar is just playing patty cake at this moment outside.
I'm just waiting.
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
what we're doing, killing time.
All right. So with your insight, she's not attempting to be hidden in her motives. She's being blunt and obvious that she wishes to attempt to study them, which, again, is easier to do when they're alive. But if they're dead, she is willing to take an archaeological stance to studying their culture.
Okay.
So for the perception, you just sort of look at the table, and you see that she has a couple of books open, laying on the table. and she has some dried octopodal creatures hanging from the wall on the side of this room.
Okay. I just walk towards the books, quickly look over them.
Alright, she has some pretty detailed artistic drawings of what these creatures look like in different poses and stances in one book. And in the other book, she just has written in Aquan.
I read
Do you
Aquan.
understand Aquan?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's one of my two languages other than like Common and Aquan. It's basically it.
Okay. So, yeah, she's written about the different tiers of guard that they have, like different rankings and how to tell the difference between them. But she doesn't have government, just so you're aware. She has a section ready for government, but she doesn't have anything written there.
Yeah, I pick it up and I start looking at the different types of guard. Do I recognize all of them?
The ones that you've encountered so far are only the lowest of ranking guard.
Yeah.
They just sort of have piecemeal armor, and they tend to have a scratch mark on their shoulder, a single one. However, the more high-ranking ones, they tend to scratch their chests with large scratch marks, indicating how many battles they've survived, that sort of thing. And they sometimes gather heavier plate armor or chain armor, whatever they can gather, though it tends to be enchanted to not rust, so they have like an anti-rust enchantment on them. Because they tend to live underwater, so regular chainmail would just go to pieces immediately. But they tend to find pieces of armor such as that they can wear if they're high enough ranking. Apparently, she has even pictures corresponding to them in the other book, which she has labeled, and you can turn to those pages and you can see what they look like.
Yeah, I will do that. But first, is there any other creatures in this book?
There are a few, such as that weird panther-like creature that you killed, as well as the other shark-like creature that looked partially elephant. They have names and everything, though I'm not sure how interested your character would be in those things.
No.
There's other creatures that tend to surround the island that she has written down, including things like dragon turtles, things of that nature, large whales, and other benign creatures, such as the octopodal creature. And there's quite a hefty paragraph on the octopodal creature that she has hanging from the wall.
Okay.
So, unless if you're looking for something specific, then that's pretty much all you get other than generic information on things like jellyfish and stuff like that.
Yeah. In that case, I will look over at her as she finished contemplating my offer.
She just seems bored and she walked over to the window and started looking at the window.
Seeing George, I just playing patty cake.
No, I'm not.
I guess as much.
Okay.
Or doing something to entertain themselves.
Then I will keep this book and I will take the other book and I will leave with the books, with the research.
Alright, I need you to make a sleight of hand check.
No, I'm just obviously walking out with them.
Okay, she says, "So you're going to steal my life's work?"
Well, you have the option of coming with us. As I keep walking.
She just sort of smiles and says, Right. And she just sort of gets up and starts following you.
Do I get the impression that she's gonna try and backstab us to the merfolk as soon as she gets the chance?
Well, you can attempt to incite again, because you're inciting something different this time. No, she's just extremely annoyed that you're trying to take her life's work.
That's what I was hoping
She
for.
has no other option other than to follow you in order to keep it.
Yes, that's the result I was hoping for. So I will keep moving back to the others.
Alright. You two see him just sort of walking out of the building, and she is following him. By the way, her description is she is a light-skinned elven person. I guess is the best way to say that. And she is wearing what looks like today for a swimsuit sort of thing, just sort of made out of simple leathers. That's it. That's all she has.
Yeah. I will take the book that had the creature in it, and I will hand it to Josiah, and I will say, "You will probably take some interest in this." And then,
Oh,
Josiah, you recognize this book. This is one of the books that she had just sort of sitting on her table. That is her research.
no. Why did you take it from her?
well, she's coming with us.
Still, it's hers.
You know her slightly better than he does, and you can see that she's just sort of like,
Josiah just hands the book over and to her.
she takes it.
So, silly question to ask, but also not so silly. But what plane are we on?
Well, I don't remember doing any plane or travel to get here.
Oh, that's a good thing. So we're on a material plane. Perfect.
And she just sort of thinks for a second and then nods. Probably. Unless they took me somewhere that I'm not aware of.
That
She just
is
sort of
not very
opens her book.
comforting.
She just sort of opens her book and starts looking at the creatures.
Anyways, we do need to, well, signal our captain somehow to let him know that we're on this specific island.
But first, we need to take out the merfolk people. She'll show us, and I'll look over at her.
You still have one of her books, so she's hesitantly going to have to comply. Because the book that actually has words in it, you still have. This other book is basically just diagrams of different creatures. And the
Yes.
actual book
So
that has the words in it is the other one that he currently has.
So,
So have you bullied her enough by now?
are the two of you ready?
Well, I am.
Let's go. And I motion for her to lead the way.
She just sort of looks perturbed. What? What? Where do you want to go exactly? You know where they are. You killed half of them.
Yes, but they're most guarded locations, which you do not have access to.
That was most of them.
Oh,
Now even more.
what do you like?
She flips to a certain page in her book, and she actually has a map of tunnels and most of the tunnels are not complete because she doesn't know where they go. So she has like 3 branching paths, and she just shows you the map.
Okay, this is good. I should have asked for a map sooner.
You see that there's about maybe 40 different paths that branch off from where she knows where they go. She says there
Which
are
have,
guards here, and if I attempted to go in, they would prevent me. So I don't know where these tunnels go.
Which of the areas seem the most guarded or the most traveled through?
Well, at each of the different paths, as she's pointing to them, there were 3 guards at each.
None of them you saw any other merfolk coming through?
Coming through, of course, but nothing suspiciously high traffic or anything of that nature.
And what do you say, Jahar? Which one of these paths do you think would lead us in the right direction?
She just sighs again and shows you the map. You can make a history check to see if you recognize the paths that are shown on the map, and also the paths that are incomplete on the map, if you wish.
Sure. God damn it.
Seems as though your character not very good at remembering things that are historical in nature. No, you recognize one of the paths that she has completed, but you don't know where the other paths go along that branch, and you don't know where the other branches are or where they go.
I point towards a path and I say, that one. I have a feeling about this path.
All right,
And
here's what I'm gonna get you to
I
do.
have a bad feeling about this.
Okay, I'm gonna get you to roll a D100.
Isn't it D4,
There's 40 paths.
Yeah.
There's 40 paths, but whether or not they're good or not have different odds.
Right.
D100.
32.
Okay, great.
A low
32.
number, how great!
Captain, do you want me to put some spells on you, just in case?
Well, it will be a far travel to swim back down.
And she says, your gift has been revoked, so it will be especially hard.
I want to go.
She's suggesting that you can no longer breathe underwater, which is the case, which you could before. But when you started killing half of them, then they took that away.
Why would they do that? But yeah, we'll look around. Isn't there like a bunch of land masses underwater? Like there's breathing pockets, that sort of thing.
Yes, there are breathing pockets, which on the paths she's aware of, she has marked them. However, they're not as close and as frequent as an air-breathing creature might want.
Okay.
Like, there's a section of like a half-hour swim that between air pockets.
Didn't you have that air pocket that lasted 1 hour or so?
Yeah, I'm the one.
Yeah.
There's that.
But that is taking into account that there's only one creature breathing the air. Having 3 or 4 creatures breathing the air would be a different scenario. There'd be less air.
Amount gets smaller the more people are breathing from it.
Okay. So
I mean, logic do still apply to it.
in that case, I could stay up here, and before you go, I can set you up. Are you ready to go?
If 2 of us go, we have half an hour.
Yeah.
Is there not anywhere there's the breathing pockets are a bit closer than a half hour, so we could probably make it.
She has one path that is marked that has 3 breathing pockets, each of which are 15 minutes apart.
Yeah.
So that's our best shot.
All right.
Then
So
all 3 of us could make it. We would have 20 minutes of breathing air.
Yes. This is assuming that only 3 of you are going.
Yeah, and we have 15 with the lady too. So
So we
it's
have
5.
20 minutes of air.
We have 15 if the lady comes, then we're 4.
If the 3 of us need air, then it's 20 minutes.
Yes, that is true. However, she says, my gift has been revoked as well, since your antics got me in trouble.
So then it's 15. So not a lot of room.
Also, he said we killed half of them, so only half to go. No.
so should someone stay behind, or do we all
Well, it takes
I am
me.
not staying behind as long as he has my book.
Well, I just want you to know the time it takes to refill my air supply is just as long it takes to deplete them. So if I deplete it for an hour, I need to wait an hour to refill it.
Yep. So you guys take 15 minutes to get to the first one, then you have to wait there for an hour.
Of 50 minutes.
Well,
No, you have to wait there for an hour because it takes an hour worth of time off of your breathing apparatus.
Yeah.
So
So-
it doesn't matter how long it takes to
true.
deplete it, as long as it's taking that much time. So
Yeah.
it's up to you, Captain. You
I
decide.
say it's not worth it.
Well, then what do you suggest we do? Because I won't just sit around here and look at these merfolk.
Well, instead of sitting around, how about we, well, try and signal our captain to let him know that this is the island he wants to go to.
I'd rather take my chances at sea.
Yeah, that worked out last time so well.
The drift will guide us.
Right. I'm gonna take my chances on this island and just wait for the captain to find us.
Okay, at this point, yeah, I think I'm just gonna wander off towards the beach.
okay.
I'm gonna follow him and ask if he needs some preparations before he goes.
Well, not unless you can make me walk on water.
Well, I can make you walk on water. In fact,
Clerics, baby!
Very well. Then I just start wandering out to the ocean.
I cast water walk.
Up to 10 creatures.
Yeah, so everyone has it. Sure.
Just
Yeah,
one
and I
tiny
will
problem.
just
She
notice
does.
you. Are you coming? And
Why do we?
I'm literally just walking out to the ocean, like, fuck this island. I'm leaving.
So you're just making it harder for a captain to find us. You know that, right?
The captain will just follow the flow of the water and he will find us.
And you do also know that creatures from the sea can come up to the surface and try and eat you, right?
I'm not fated to die yet, but if I do, then I've lived long enough.
So I'm gonna do the more wiser thing and stay on this island.
So what that's gonna be? Are you gonna stay on the island and just walk straight into the ocean?
If you want to die, you want to die. It's not my problem.
I
I'm
am
okay with it.
fated to die, but I cannot speak for your fate.
Or if you're going after him, do know that, well, his curse is pretty real.
What did you say?
He doesn't have
That
anything
his
about
curse
it.
is as real as it can get.
What's his curse?
Well, basically that his curse, that if you believe in his curse, that his curse gets more powerful. But if you don't believe in his curse gets weaker. Basically.
Well, I have removed curse. Maybe that will help.
Perhaps,
Possible.
perhaps.
It's possible.
I mean, it's not impossible, it's possible.
It might work.
Well.
Let me just say that it depends on him because of the mechanics of his curse. So it could work.
It's up to him.
Yeah, at this point, I'm just walking into the ocean. I'm like trying to find where the water is flowing, like to follow the stream.
Okay. Make a...
Survival or...
Yeah. And as that is happening, I need you to roll a perception check.
Yes, I'm probably getting eaten. That's fine.
I told you so.
No, something else is happening.
What?
I'm now ruler of the fish people because I killed their thing. They don't know who actually killed, but I let them think I did it.
Okay, so, Josiah, you witness as, the female elf just sort of walks out onto the water to where the cursed captain is, takes the book away from him, and then just walks back.
Oh,
Okay,
that's option 2.
yeah, he doesn't notice it.
I care
so-
very little for the book, so I don't mind.
Yeah,
I
she
notice
didn't
it?
want you. She definitely wasn't going to let you leave the island without getting her book back. So she just walks back, and because she was walking on the water, because you cast it on her too.
Yeah. Do I notice it? That
Yeah, you see anybody who isn't the cursed captain just sees her walking out onto the water towards him,
I
and
was
then
gonna say
coming
anything.
back with a book.
I was gonna say anything. I'm just smiling and watching.
you know what?
Just wave and smile, boys. Just wave and smile.
I'm gonna stay on land because that's safer for now. But you can have this, and I cast warding bond on him.
Sure.
Yeah, so if he starts drowning, then you'll die.
That's true.
So it's fine.
Perfect idea to kill myself.
You got 1 hour.
Yeah, if he drowns, then he'll go past 0 HP, which will start killing you. Just so you're aware.
It's fine.
So, you, with your survival check, yeah, you clearly see, like, as you're standing on top of the water, the waves are sort of, it sort of feels like shifting sand is sort of just pushing you up, and you just sort of, like, feel suddenly, it's kind of like a semi-earthquake sort of sensation, as you just sort of go up with the waves. Either way, you just sort of looking down and you can see there are clear currents in the water. So are you going where the strongest currents are, or?
Yeah, I'm just following the currents, and I'm sprinting for 2,700 feet. No, 27,000 feet before I stop, unless I notice anything.
Okay. I'll get you to roll a
27,000 feet.
27,000.
Jesus,
I
how
think
fast are you?
I think he calculated his run speed and how long the spell lasts.
No, I run for a half hour, so not the full
Okay.
duration.
So he did half the spell's duration, so that way he has a possibility of running back. Okay, so make a perception check. That's the first thing.
No, but Jesus, that's fast. And a lot.
Okay, you look around. So 2,700.
No, yeah, it's 27,000 or 2,700.
Oh, 27,000.
Yeah. It's a. Do I notice any other islands or ships or anything?
I'm just checking how many miles that is. So just give me a second. 27.
Or just a blur on the water for 30 minutes.
Okay, that's 5 miles. A little more than 5 miles.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's going 10 miles an hour.
You have a hard time seeing him. He runs so far away. So you sort of look back and look forth. You don't see any ships, at least not the one you're looking for. But you do see.
Oh, okay.
You do see something. It appears to be something that you've seen before. You see masts of a ship, and the what are those things called? Sails. I can't believe I forgot that word. Yeah, you see the sails.
You better believe it.
You see the sails. It's the ship. It appears to be the ship that wrecked.
Yeah.
It didn't wreck very far from the island, or at least this part of the debris isn't that far from the island.
What about Mr. Emerald Knight? He was with us, right?
Oh yeah, he's with you guys, but he's not really doing anything. Like he's just sort of following you guys.
I will look in the wreck's direction and kind of try and make out which way I remember our ship going after the fight.
Okay. You remember that the ship was in slightly deeper waters than this before crashing.
Okay.
Or flipping over. Because you sort of look down at your feet where you're currently standing, and the water isn't as deep as where you were when your curse attempted to protect you.
Okay. I will keep running out to the deeper water for another 15 minutes. So that would be another, almost 15,000 feet, like for 13,500 feet.
13,500.
Yes.
Wait, you do need to get back, remember that, eh?
Yeah, that's too late now.
Okay, so he goes for another 2.5 miles. So, another perception check.
Yes.
Because technically, based on the curvature of our Earth, you can see approximately 15 miles before it's literally impossible to see. So you can
before the drop-off happens.
Yeah. So you can still, like, he's a dot on the horizon, and you have to squint. Human eyes wouldn't be able to see it, for sure. Human eyes can only see about 5 miles. So you can't see him, but you can tell that there's something happening in the distance. That's about it.
There's something on the water.
Yeah. Okay. So did you make your perception check?
Yeah, 24.
Okay, now you see something. You see another ship. Actually, you see 2 ships. The first ship is the Swimming Titan, which is the ship that you came here on. And you see another ship approximately 500 feet behind it. You don't recognize it.
The Swimming Titan is our ship, right?
Yeah, it's a man-of-war class ship.
Okay. Well, I have another 13,500 feet. Can I reach the ship before the spell ends?
Yes, you can.
So I will keep running towards the ship.
Fuck yeah.
Okay. And about 5 minutes after you start running, because you're a monk, so you can run quickly, you reach the ship.
And I will kind of just jump
Are
off.
you attempting to be stealthy or anything of that nature? Or are you just approaching the ship?
No, I'd like to imagine I'm just running straight to the front of the ship. So
All they see is just a
an
ruler.
old scrunkly man running on the ocean.
Yeah, you're
All they see is
basically
just him.
you're basically just one of those old martial arts movies where they show the people with their feet moving way too quickly, things of that nature, and you're just like, and the water's
Hiya,
kicking
I'm
up
back.
beside you. Like the
Hello.
modern renditions of like The Flash and stuff like that. The water's just kicking up beside you.
Yeah, and I try and jump up the front of the ship.
Okay, you get within 100 feet when you see someone peering over the side of the ship with a crossbow, and they're going to fire.
Oh, okay.
Half
So
damage.
who is it? Do I recognize this person? Does it look like a pirate or a...
Unfortunately, he gets his attack in first before
Yeah.
you can discern that information. Because he just, perhaps someone on the ship saw this movement and said, there's something coming, and then they just fired. So,
Yeah, the people were like, "Oh hell no!"
okay, so, boop, boop. Ah, nat one.
I would like to catch the arrow and aim it back at its eye.
So you're gonna try to hit the person who shot it?
In the eye.
Okay. Before you throw it back, I'll give you a chance to see if you recognize the person. Because if you knew who it was, you might not want to throw it back at him.
I don't recognize it. Can I roll with disadvantage because I'm running so fast?
I'll allow that, yes.
Fuck.
You do not recognize this person.
Oh, yeah. Very good. I will throw my newfound arrow. Which damage dice is the arrow?
It is a crossbow bolt. So it's
So
classified as a crossbow bolt. So if you have it's a heavy crossbow, like a big one. Like not a hand crossbow, so it's a big one. It's just a regular crossbow. Or regular heavy crossbow, I should say. Because they're delineated from heavy to regular to hand. So it's a heavy crossbow. Is that in the book?
Yeah, it's in the book, actually.
Okay.
It's a D10.
Yeah, that's why they call them heavy crossbows.
And I will make an attack roll against him with his crossbow.
Okay, that hits him.
Are you gonna take over a ship on your own?
Maybe. That's
Alright, mutiny,
10.
I say.
There is a hidden effect on this weapon that you are unaware of, but the guy just sort of goes, and then he just sort of stumbles around for a second and falls over. However, you're still approximately 150 feet away. I think I said 300 with the first one. Not sure, but that's what I meant to say. So you're 150 feet, and another guy pops up. 21 to hit.
Yeah, that hits me.
Okay, D10.
Oh, D10,
For
I am in need of you.
the regular damage. So you
That's
take
1 damage.
2.
Yes, and I will deflect it. So I catch the arrow.
However, there is a hidden effect on this weapon. So
Okay.
you take an additional 15.
I take no damage because I catch it with a 17.
Okay, 15. Yep.
Throw
That's
it
true.
back with another key point.
Okay. And yes, in future you can roll an additional 3d10 if you want.
For 30 damage.
Yeah, he goes down.
And I will just
You cut out.
Yeah. I will just yell out. Any more of that, and I will sink or
Okay,
damn
just a
ship.
second. It might be my headphones.
Do the others hear me?
You're not cutting out for me, at least.
Okay. Then
Yeah, my headphones have. I had to buy new batteries, and they don't recharge the same way as the other batteries did. So now I have to change them every once in a while, which is
Oh,
annoying.
hooray.
And I can't hear anything you're saying if you're responding to me, but I just thought I'd tell you why I have to change them. Because, see, my old headphones, my old batteries, it has a headphone dock, so it would just recharge in the headphone dock, but these batteries don't recharge in the headphone dock, so I don't know. I have to change them now. So.
Do you hear us now?
Yes.
Yeah, I was saying, because I'm 150 feet away, I'm gonna move up 90. So I'm pretty close, and I'm assuming the ship moved towards me as well, right?
Yeah, it's not moving quickly, it's only moving 20 feet per round.
Yeah, and I will yell up towards the ship. If you keep shooting me, I will sink your damn ship.
All right, and as that happens, you're approximately 30 feet away from the ship. And another guy.
I warned you. I look up at him as he shooting.
Okay. So
I will not be held responsible for what I'm about to do.
Okay, 10 to hit.
I will catch the arrow and I will fucking throw it back in his face. I have had enough of these archers. This is not the warm welcome I was hoping.
Are you sure these are our guys?
Critical hit, which
He
means
didn't recognize the person, and then the second person he assumed was someone else that he didn't recognize.
That's dead.
so I do 50 damage to this archer.
Yes, and as you're close enough, you see that this guy is wearing similar armor to the guys who were on the bounty hunter ship from before.
Uh-oh.
Yes, and it's now my turn again, right? Because that was their turn shooting me.
Yes, but before that happens, you hit him in the throat with this one, and his head just detaches from how much damage just happened to him. And he just falls back.
Okay. I'm gonna look at basically the front of the ship, and I'm gonna start kind of doing what I did on the other ship, like just under the sea level. I'm gonna start punching holes through the ship.
Before you
Oh,
can
don't sink
attempt
our
to do that,
ship.
you have water walk, so you're unable to go below the surface of the water.
Can I not still punch under the water?
You can sort of bend down and act like you're gonna just... Actually, you can't, because the magic prevents you from going below the surface of the water.
Okay, I will just start punching my hole into the deck at the bottom, like just in the front of the ship, basically. But I'm sure the waves
Go
keep
into
up
the
and
ship. I'll
down
be
and
right
we
back
start
grabbing a
getting
drink.
closer.
So you're gonna try to enter the ship basically from the front of it.
Yes.
There's no door, but you're going to attempt to enter that way anyway.
Yes.
Okay.
How much
No,
damage did you do?
No, there always was a door. He just had to make one.
I'm also making sure to kick in the bottom of it so water will start flowing in.
Yeah, you can break the wood as it's going over a wave or something, but you can't, like, go below the surface simply because water walking prevents you from doing so.
That's what I had in mind.
Okay, so I'll get you to roll 1 round of punches.
Yes. That is Punch, punch, punch.
Yeah, those
Ooh.
it hits because it's a boat and it cannot prevent you from hitting it. So give me the total damage.
Okay. That would be
74.
The total damage is over for 50 damage.
74, yeah, 74.
74.
Disgusting.
Yeah, I know. Okay, 74.
Are you sure the ship is still floating?
Well, he's only. You're superheroes, basically, but with that taken into account, he's only aiming for a particular section of the ship.
Yeah, I'm aiming for a section of the ship, so I can enter the front of the ship, basically.
Yes, so you manage to do enough damage that you enter the bottom level of the ship.
Okay.
You basically have
but
punched a U-sized door into the front of the ship. If you wish to enter, you can now enter.
I like to imagine that I'm standing there as the ship runs over me and I'm now inside.
Well, yeah, you sort of punch, and it rots the wood with the necrotic damage as well. So as it slams into you, the wood is just so rotted that it just feels like gross muck hitting your face, and you're inside the ship.
Okay. What do I see? Do I see anything in the bottom floor here?
Make a perception check.
Ooh.
Nat 20. So you do see stuff. For sure. But you don't see. The first thing you notice is that you don't see the stuff that you should be seeing. You see basically suits of armor and weapons just sort of sitting up on these wooden mannequins that looks similar to the bounty hunter armor.
Okay. I will then proceed to. Okay, it's a next new turn, or they do something.
Yes, the next thing that's going to happen is another turn from the enemies, unfortunately. So there's people down here.
Okay.
Which you would have seen, but unfortunately it wouldn't have mattered because you took your entire turn to punch a hole through. So this guy also has a crossbow. He was. It looks like he was in the middle of grabbing it to go up onto the top deck, but then he just sort of turns around and sees you standing there, and he just shoots at you. For a
Or a
natural.
natural 20.
That's funny. That's gonna hurt. Gonna reduce
Half damage.
Yes, half damage. That's true. So I might be able to catch it with half damage.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm gonna roll full damage, and then you can do the calculations afterward. So, okay, 14, and then
7.
an additional.
Oof.
Right.
So that's 45. Half is 22, and I reduce it by 14. So I do indeed take 22 reduced by 14, which is 8. So we both take 8 damage.
Okay, suddenly you're standing on the beach. You just feel like you got shot with a crossbow bolt in the shoulder.
Now
It
you know
kinda
I
hurts.
found something.
Now you know that he's actually being attacked by something, which you can't see him. We'll go back to you guys for a little while to see what you were doing in the meantime.
I guess it was abuse after all.
So,
Because he
yeah.
was running for like 45 minutes. So
Yeah, so Desire is like, well, I'm gonna make some flares. Just tell me when you're in pain.
It's gonna be a while.
So but before that, I need the Cursed Captain to also make, since this is the first time you've been hit, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. 12.
Unfortunately, you start to feel... and your vision goes blurry. For the next turn, you have disadvantage on all attacks, and anything you attempt to do is at disadvantage as well.
Okay. In
So
that
also
case,
breathing?
No,
will
I
hit-
mean any skill checks or anything like that.
Just joking.
In
Just
that
joking.
case, I will go for the easy target, the floor. So I will keep running towards this archer, but on the way, punch, punch, punch into the floor.
Okay.
Aren't
That
we going to
happens.
steal this boat?
Wouldn't
You
that
guys
go
can't
wrong?
see the boat.
24. And I got 2 crits in there. Come on.
Yeah, you're a little
Yeah.
woozy, so the first attack you just sort of go "Rah," and it hits nothing.
Instead of punching, I lean next to it.
Alright. So
That's a 13 hit.
13 hits, yeah. Because it's a wall.
That
You would
was,
need like a 6 to miss. So
Oei.
that damage happens, and the archer is just sort of like backing away from you.
I get an attack of opportunity. Or,
Which is still at disadvantage.
Technically, this is just thematically. He's not
okay.
actually
Okay.
able to back away from you because it's not his turn.
Yeah.
It's just thematically, he sees something rushing towards him, so he's afraid. So I described it that way.
You wouldn't be afraid of a maniac punching a
Your
floor.
turn. At the end of your turn, you need to make another con save at the end of your turn.
Yes, to rid myself of the effect, most likely. And I don't.
That's actually not what happens. You fall unconscious on the floor.
Okay. Oof. Yes.
Oof.
It's basically petrification, except not petrification. It just knocks you unconscious. So you
Yeah.
had 2 chances to save out of it.
Okay,
But-
does this also happen to him? To Jar?
No, here's what happens to him.
Oh boy. Fuck.
He just goes, ah,
Ah.
ah! As he's getting hit, it feels like he's getting hit in the back of the head a couple of times.
How much damage?
And then
did
you feel some sort of sensation as if your arms are being violently grabbed and pulled forward, but it's only the damage and not the actual effect of you getting pulled forward.
So how much do I take?
You take an additional. I'll roll because he's just hitting you with the butt end of the
Crossbow.
crossbow. Yes, just to make sure that you're unconscious and not just pretending. Okay, you take half of 6.
Yes.
Nice.
And Cursed Captain, you take half of 6.
Yeah.
So you can subtract that from your total. Unfortunately, once you're unconscious for an hour. And there's unfortunately nothing you can do. It's just a poison effect, which is what the other Ds were for. They were poison damage. So, we'll switch back to them for that hour. So what were you guys doing during that hour?
I was.
Go. Making flares and making sure he was not in too much pain. Not that
Yeah,
I have
he's
to
fine
heal
for
him.
the hour. But after the hour, then he starts getting hurt.
Yeah. So, for that one whole hour, I'm gonna make flares and try and set them up.
Guess
Possible, that is.
Alright, the Emerald Knight is just sort of... He tries to help you, so any checks that you need to make in order to make flares, you make with advantage. Because he's going to help you.
I guess I'm gonna go
So-
scavenge if I find something useful.
Alright, I'll get you to make a roll in a second, but... Tinker Tools
Let's
check.
see. Advantage. 25.
Yeah, you easily make a couple of things that you can light on fire to make a lot of smoke. you don't have the proper things to make an actual flare, but you have something that will make a lot of smoke and draw attention to anything that draws near.
Yes, so I set them up and then, well, light them hoping to get attention.
Okay. You might
I
get
make
there.
sure that
You might
I make
get the
sure that
attention.
it's a weird color, not like black. Black would be like from maybe black cloud, or white, just a cloud. No, I'm gonna make it blue. No, not blue.
Do you have a
Yellow.
spell to aid in doing this? Because technically you cannot make colored smoke without additional materials that you do not have.
No. Oh wait, I can do chromatic orb. Yeah.
Alright, you can... I'll fudge it and allow you to do something with that to make some colors if you want. Because technically you would need like a colored thing that would burn and produce a smoke of a different color, but you don't have that. But I'll allow you to use a spell to produce a different color. I'll just let you use a spell slot to stretch it into
Yeah,
making
chromatic orb is not gonna cut it. It's
Yeah,
an
but I'll let you.
energy.
I'll let you.
Okay.
I'll let you.
So yeah,
Because you have spells that are of different elements and things of that nature. So
Yeah.
I'll let you just use a first level spell slot to create a different color.
Yep, retracted that spell slot and it's active.
Okay. Good enough. So is that all you're doing for the hour? You Jazai?
Yeah, then but also make sure that Yar is doing okay and helping him
Yeah.
out when he needs it.
Okay. So I'm gonna say to make those things it took you a half hour.
Mhm.
So, because you have very rudimentary supplies, it's not like you have a full workshop at your disposal. So, um, Yar, make an investigation check, because you're just sort of checking the area. Okay, great. You find some crabs, some very
Sweet.
small crabs, and some of them actually look fairly weird for crabs. They have like this weird hulking one arm with a large claw on it, and the
Oh,
other one is teeny tiny.
that's pretty
And
normal for crabs actually.
yes, there are crabs that look like that. However, the back legs are also huge.
Can I make
Like
a nature check to discern
Oh,
what crab this is?
sure.
It's a crab.
You don't know. It looks like a crab, and it acts like a crab, and you get a little close and smell it. It smells like a crab, and you haven't tasted it yet, but it probably tastes like a crab, so... And it's just
Yeah.
sort of looking at you as it's moving around, moving a little bit of pooled water in this little indent in the sand. Just sort of splashing around.
I'm gonna leave it alone and head back.
Perfect. So the crab just sort of looks at you. It has these little eye stalks, and it just sort of watches you approach, and then you look at it for a second, and then you're like, and you walk away.
Yeah. For anyone curious about the name, they're called fiddler crabs.
Yes.
That's the real life version at least.
Yes. These ones are slightly deformed. They have other things wrong with them. But you assume that it has to do with your proximity to the plane of water, which has very deformed water-dwelling creatures. Well, at least deformed compared to creatures that normally show up on the material plane.
Yeah, definitely not something like a dragon turtle or anything.
Dragon turtles are normal on the material plane. Yeah, they actually have spawning areas in the material plane, whereas some of these other deformed creatures, there might be the only one existing on the material plane at any given time. So this little crab just found its way onto the beach and was making a little hole. But you didn't find anything important with a 12, unfortunately. So you walk back, and then I guess unless if you want to do anything else, we'll skip to you taking damage.
I'll take the damage.
Alright,
Sure.
so Josiah, you notice him just sort of going ah! Suddenly.
So Jai just looks up and asks him, "What did the idiot do?"
Wow. Felt like I was hit by an arrow for a second.
Yeah.
Okay, seems
And
like
then
he
hit
did.
in the back of the head with something blunt that you don't know.
I don't know,
Okay, that
smacked him.
doesn't sound good. And then smacked. Okay, he seems to be on the ship, on a ship. But well,
I would imagine.
Well, from your guys' perspective, it could have been any ship and he just wanted to take it over.
yeah, I said he could be on a ship, and well, something
But
happened to
you
him.
know that if he would have taken enough damage to to go unconscious, this guy standing here probably would have been unconscious too. So you have a feeling that something else happened.
So he either must have been put. Either he invaded the ship that had a magic user or some kind of poison.
Or he could have succeeded and taken very little damage.
The last
Oh
one.
yeah, that well, he could have
I-
succeeded. Let's
I
just
would
hope he will
imagine-
be back soon.
Imagine he would take a little more of a beating than that, but either that or he's knocked out or he's succeeding in his whatever he did.
Yeah, well, let's see. Wait and see. I mean, if the yellow smoke I made isn't an indicator where we are, then I don't know.
I should
Alright.
wake up before the ship makes it back, right? If I'm
The
unconscious
ship
now.
comes into view before that happens.
Yeah, that's fine. But,
So, I need you both to make perception checks. See if you notice the ship.
I don't.
Well, Yar, you notice a ship, but you've been a prisoner for a few years, so you're not entirely sure you recognize the colors of the ship or anything. It's weird, they're just red sails. But he doesn't seem to notice. He's just making sure that his flares are burning properly and everything, at the moment at least.
Seen anything yet?
There be a ship over the horizon over there. Maybe he took it over, or maybe it's on it.
Well, what kind of ship? Because a ship can be a ship.
Looks like red sails.
That's
I
it.
don't know.
That's our
Okay.
ship.
Yes, you do recognize when he says red sails that Bloodbeard's ship definitely has red sails.
Well, it
So
seems like
safe.
apparently so. Yes.
Oh, sweet.
And it seems to be heading directly towards the beach. And the Emerald Knight, I need you both to make perception checks.
Fuck.
Ah, bugger.
You don't see him.
Oh,
The hell. Ah, for
He was sort of just sitting there helping you build the flares. But then, as soon as he noticed the ship, like you guys weren't paying attention to him for a couple of minutes, and then you just sort of looked around and noticed, like you were about to go, we're saved, to him, and he's not there. So,
well, he should have known that our captain was a fair captain.
yeah, there's a couple of reasons why he might not.
I might be some of them.
Yeah, he's probably the first half of the list.
Yeah. Well, his loss, I say. Oh wait. What if? Oh boy, this can go wrong. We don't know how well the sandbanks and all such are here. Let's hope they use the rowboats to get to the mainland, well, to the island.
Yeah, with how many cannons you have on that sucker, yeah, that thing would beach and not be able to move if it hit a sandbank or anything.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I'm just watching, hoping they know what they're doing.
it gets approximately 500, more than 500, approximately 700 feet away from the shore and sort of turns to the side. And you see one of the boats descending. The rowboat,
Thank
that
God.
is. Now is approximately the moment when the cruise captain awakens. You feel the ship sort of lolling back and forth, the ship that you are currently on. However, you look around at your surroundings once you wake up. Your head sort of hurts a little bit. Well, unfortunately, you couldn't take a short rest when you were unconscious because you were unconscious through poisonous means, which doesn't allow you to rest. You just sort of wake up and you realize you're in a cell, so then you sit up on your cot and you look around. It's made of a different wood than your ship, so you don't think that you're on your ship anymore.
Okay. I look around. Do I see anything? Like, is it the wood floor? Is the other cages? Any guards? Keys?
There's bars in front of you, and it's a wooden room, or at least it appears to be a wooden room, from what you can see. And there's a poop bucket in the corner, and the cot that you are currently sitting on. That is all that you have.
Okay. Do I have my stuff, or is it taken?
You have nothing.
You have nothing. Okay.
Other
Well,
than your clothing, which they assumed was good enough to be prisoner garb anyway.
Yes, it was pretty much prisoner garb. So I will just remove the +2 bonus,
Yes,
and
for
I
now.
will look around. Do I see like any sort of chest, any places they might have put things?
So you're gonna walk up to the bars and have a look out, or
Yeah,
because
yeah.
your room only has a poop bucket and your cot.
Yeah, I'm looking at the bars, of course.
Okay. Make a perception check.
Perception. 11.
All right, you look back and forth. You're sort of sticking your head through the cell bars, and you do see some things, but you don't see like a chest or anything like what you were looking for. You see that there's a prisoner on the opposite side. He appears to be a undiscernible race from your current perspective. He appears to be human in size, so he's not like a gigantic person or anything, or a tiny person to imply halfling or anything like that. He appears to be human in height, but he's just sort of curled up on his cot, and he has a hood over his head, and he's just sort of got like they gave you a blanket, so he has his blanket over him, and he just appears to be sleeping. You see that there is a cell down the way and a cell beside you, but you can't crane your head far enough to see who's in the cell beside you or in that cell down the way. Your cell appears to be next to the wall of this particular hallway.
But no guards, right?
And there's a lantern. There's a lantern. But you can't see guards from your current perspective.
Okay.
But you can't see the end of the hallway either. So you're not sure.
I will kind of just say not too loudly, but so my fellow prisoners hears me, and I will say, "Well, it's about time for a mutiny." As I start punching the door.
All right.
Déjà vu.
Here's something that happens. You hit the door, but your fist just hurts, and the door isn't broken.
I start punching the floor.
You punch the floor, and your fists hurt, but the floor isn't broken.
I punch the ceiling.
Same thing.
I punch the bucket.
The bucket goes flying. Satisfyingly, it just sort of goes.
The other
But
wall
you don't
behind me.
feel as strong as you have been.
Okay. I will go towards the cell cage and I will try and use my long fingernails to pick the lock.
Okay. And as this happens, you look over and you see the person in the cell across from you. You recognize this person as a drug dealer or drug user that was on the ship. His name is Donovan.
Okay.
And he just sort of looks at you. He has a bunch of missing teeth. He's a character that was on your ship at the time when you lost track of it.
Yeah.
And he just sort of goes, "Oi, what are you doing?"
I will tell him, if you pick the lock, I'll punch our way out of there.
Oh, you don't have anything to pick it with.
Improvise. And I will start attempting to open my lock with my...
All right. I'm gonna let you attempt to with disadvantage.
Yes. Which check? Sleight of hand?
It is a thieves' tools check, but if you don't have thieves' tools, then it's just dexterity. If you
Okay.
don't have proficiency in thieves' tools, then it's just dexterity. But if you have proficiency in thieves' tools, then it's dexterity plus proficiency.
11.
Alright, your fingernail breaks in the lock. It's actually
Okay.
kind of painful.
Yeah. I will... Is there like a bench or anything in this chamber? Like what to sit on?
That you're in?
Yeah.
There's the cot, which is it's just sort of like a plate of metal attached to the wall with chains, and it has like a very thin, rudimentary mattress on it with with a blanket. That's what it is.
I would like to use the blanket as a monk weapon.
Okay, you grab the blanket, and you're about to channel your ki into it to allow you to use it as a monk weapon. However, the ki channeling doesn't happen.
Okay, yeah.
I know more than enough to know where the captain is now.
Yes.
It's almost as if bounty hunters have anti-magic stuff on their ship.
That doesn't make sense.
And ki is included in magic. It's just natural magic.
I will then proceed to keep punching the door until something else happens.
I'm gonna get you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Sure.
See if you're able to take the pain of punching the wall. No, unfortunately, it's just too much. Like, you feel like your hands are breaking. This isn't what happens when you have ki. When you have ki, your fists are just unnaturally hard and able to punch through things, and it doesn't hurt you. It's just painful, which is not good.
Okay.
And you're just you'll have to take a break, but
Yeah.
you didn't make any progress.
Still have my feet though.
You can try.
Sure, why not? What can
All
go
right,
wrong?
make a Constitution saving throw as you start kicking it.
My feet
All
are
right, you continue for another 10 minutes, and then we're gonna cut to the people on the shore. And actually, before we cut to the people on the shore, Donovan goes, "I tried that, mate. It's not gonna work." Do you still continue?
Yeah.
Okay. Just making sure. He just is watching you fruitlessly kick the bars in this cell. Cut to people on the shore. You see a rowboat coming towards shore. You can't really tell the people inside the rowboat at the moment. It's kind of hard to see. They're quite far away at this point. But at that point, I'm gonna get you to make a perception check.
Okay. Perception.
Both of you, by the way.
Oh boy.
11 and natural 1.
All right, 11. Cool. Things are going according to my enemy's plans. So the rowboat gets closer. There are people dressed up in what looks like pirate garb. One of them even is shirtless. They appear to be human, all of them. One has a bandana on. They look like they could be people who are part of your crew. Perhaps they're wearing something a little different than you last saw them in, but that's kind of expected. Maybe. Make an intelligence check there, Jazai.
Do you know these people? You seen them before?
Well,
Yeah, it just looks like they've changed clothes. So
they
it's just low-ranking members of your crew, but
seems like they picked up a few new people, but
yeah, you can make that
Nothing.
assumption.
nothing odd here.
They get within 150 feet of the shore, and I'll give you a chance to do anything you wish to do before they arrive.
Well, since I don't think they're hostile, I think they're of my crew. I just waved them over, like over here. There were
All right,
3 of us.
Yar.
I will do nothing for now, since
You're trusting your newfound companion. Perfect.
yes,
Yes.
it's too many most.
Yeah. They approach. Jazai, you definitely do not recognize these people. But as they get onto the beach, Jazai, feel something behind you. Something press against your neck. You're not sure what it is, and you're sort of afraid to turn around, but you can attempt to if you wish.
Attempting is all I can do.
Okay. You sort of just turn your head. You see a flash of green armor, like a reflection of green off of armor.
You're really going to do this right now?
And he actually has something in his hand. It is a long sword that is also green. You don't know where he got that from. But he has it up against your neck and he says, "If you surrender quietly, I'll give you a chance to not get hanged."
How do you mean?
And you see the people who were on the rowboat just coming up towards you and drawing their weapons and pointing them at you.
I actually got no weapons, so I'm just gonna.
Yeah, and you're an innocent bystander.
Yeah, the Emerald Knight is giving you a chance to do something if you want, because he figures that you're not part of their crew, so you haven't done the crimes that they have.
Basically being a pirate.
Oh, no. They did a horrible crime that usual pirates do not do.
Especially, well, he's more like a terrorist than a pirate, to be fair.
Yeah, they're being basically arrested on terrorism charges. But he's giving you a chance to come quietly.
Well, Josiah said, well, it would be a shame to have someone that was actually studying ways to stop the newest demon captain. It would be a shame to lose him, wouldn't you think?
He just sort of looks at the other guys and they just sort of nod. And he goes, "We have interrogation techniques if necessary."
Would also be a shame to have him go mad.
You hear a voice in the back of
Oh
your
no,
mind.
not now. I do say this out loud.
He goes mad. He sees the entity sees this as an opportunity. And he goes,
Yeah, so Josiah does say it out loud. It would be a shame to have him go mad, and then goes like, "Oh no, not now."
yeah, you realize the wording that you used. And he goes, "I can get you out of this, no problem. Just say
Josiah
the word."
just slowly raises his head and says, Can I at least freak out for a moment because he's literally talking to me right now?
And they're just sort of looking at each other confused.
Okay, let me ask this. Well, no, actually, no, you can't see it, and you would need a machine that's on the island, which I don't currently have on me, so yeah, you couldn't see it at
The
all.
Emerald Knight stops you as you're in the middle of your tirade, and he goes, "Just shut up and come with us quietly." As he starts pushing you to move you forward.
I asked
Fine,
him,
fine.
Can somebody tell me what's going on while I'm holding my hands up for like a minute now?
He looks over at you and he goes, "Did you do anything illegal recently?"
Define illegal.
What did you say? Sorry.
Define illegal.
Oh, he goes, "Killing people that you shouldn't have been."
Oh no, I didn't kill any. Someone
As
else
in
did.
innocent civilians, la-di-da-di-da, down the list. Thievery, all those things.
This guy's just counting those things like, yes, no, yes, no.
Threatening to blow up a town, you know, that sort of thing.
Yeah, that's true too.
That definitely a yes.
Not from me.
Then we'll take you to the nearest place of civilization that you wish to go to.
But I am with these people, though. They picked me up on this place.
And he just sort of motions for the other guys to go after you. And now you got two people with swords pointed at you.
Hands up.
Alright. They're willing to
if you
take you
plan-
on the rowboat as long as you're not going to resist.
Yeah, so Josiah says, if you plan to hang him, he's completely innocent and he's not even part of the crew yet.
Oh,
Yeah.
better safe than sorry. He says he's with you.
Well, he
It's
says he's with
unfortunate.
us because, well, we were together trying to survive, so that's why he's with us.
Shut up! As he just sort of hits you with the hilt of the sword in the back of the head.
Ouch.
The voice in the back of your mind echoes again. I'm here anytime. Just say the word.
That would not be very handy.
And they push you into the rowboat.
I just step in and just sit there, just waiting.
Alright. They push you both in. Unless if you resist. And they get in the rowboat. And they start rowing. The rowboat. And they go in a different direction than your ship. They sort of steer the ship to a different ship that you didn't notice that was behind your ship. Which is what you were rolling to see and you kept failing.
What do we see? What the pirate ship? Is it like? How bad does it look?
Bad does what look? Sorry.
The pirate ship.
It's damaged. But they didn't notice that either because they rolled too low.
Oh, they didn't notice it. Okay, that's good.
Yeah, they didn't notice the damage. If they would have rolled high enough to notice the other ship, they would have noticed the damage.
Yeah, Josiah's just sitting there with his fingers, just like, you know, I could make this boat sink, right?
Yeah. And?
Just a thought.
Nice thought. The Emerald Knight keeps them rowing the the oars of this rowboat.
He's just gonna wait.
Okay.
I'm just waiting for the perfect moment.
Okay. They get to the outside of their ship, unless if you want to do anything before that. And they park the rowboat on the outside of the bounty hunter ship.
You're going to get imprisoned anyway. Just think of this. You can sink the other ship, then they only have one ship.
Yep.
Benefits. It's great.
I'm just waiting for the ultimate moment.
Okay.
Because,
They lower a rope ladder. And they order you to start climbing.
I start climbing.
Can I whisper to what was your name
Josiah?
again? Josiah?
Josiah?
It's a bit hard. We're all on one
You can
tiny
try.
rowboat.
You can try. I'll say that it's a sleight of hand check.
All right. Sleight of hand.
Here he goes.
Because you're very close proximity,
16.
you managed to succeed. So go ahead. What do you want to say?
Do you have a plan? Are we doing something?
I have a tiny plan. It has a
So-
Fair
point
enough.
A and a point B, but the road? No.
Does
So it
it
has a
include-
starting point and an end point, but nothing in between.
Yep.
That's
The starting
very vague.
point is fighting. The end point is hopefully winning.
Fair enough.
Oh boy.
Alright, so I'm gonna assume that all of that was whispered. And none
Yes.
of that was not whispered.
Yeah, we're totally telling our plans to everyone that's on this boat, you know?
Well, he succeeded the sleight of hand, which gave you the opportunity to whisper, is what that did. So, they're sort of paying attention to something else, and he sees the opportunity, and he just whispers to you quickly. So,
I just shrug like, no.
okay, great. So that's his only plan. And everybody else starts paying attention to you again. So that was on the boat when you were going there. And you arrive, and they're ordering you to climb the rope ladder.
Yeah, I'm climbing it.
Okay? Do
So
you
is
climb it as
Yar
well?
right behind me?
Do you climb it as well, Yar?
I climb it, sure.
Okay.
You need to be right behind me, otherwise I can't pull this stunt off.
Okay.
I'm right behind.
Okay. So he's putting all of his trust in this random person. Either way. They start leading you onto the ship. You're on the deck. of
Okay,
the ship.
as soon I and Josiah get on the ship, finger snap, recall.
Okay. You're summoning your armor, I assume.
Yep.
Alright, everybody on the ship just starts pointing weapons at you.
Oh,
How many are on the ship and how many are currently still on the ladder?
The people who are on the deck of the ship,
Mm-hmm.
you see low number 20.
Oh boy!
hands up.
I did the fuck up! I expected less!
Couldn't
It's
make
a
it
bounty hunter ship, and they're catching quarry. They're ready for you.
Okay, this is bullshit. I need to pull some badass shit off here. Oh boy.
Good luck.
You actually hear a firearm, like, cock. You don't know where it is, but you don't have time to do anything unless if you want to just give up.
Oh boy, I'm so gonna hate myself for this. I don't see these ads off. Fuck it. He's
I'm
okay.
not
I
a
can.
this
Oh
person.
god.
Just go ahead. If you're gonna do something, this is the time. Because you've summoned your armor, you have them on high alert. So what are you doing?
Oh god, I'm gonna regret every single thing about this. I say, going crazy. I will definitely not.
Okay, so what are you doing?
I'm trying to
Say
get
so-
the voice to respond.
The voice?
Yes.
So you're saying that you're accepting its gift.
Yeah, he said
It
he's going
did-
to.
I mean, I'm using my only trump card I've left.
Okay, great. This is what I wanted.
Ugh.
Okay, so you gain instantly. This instantly happens as soon as you say yes. You gain 1 level. Your character is now level 10, I think.
8.
Eight.
Or 8. Sorry. Wrong campaign. Okay, so you're level 8. You have 1 level in Warlock. So you
Okay,
have
let's
some
do
extra
that.
powers. And
Warlock of the.
it's Pact of the Old One, or whatever it's called.
Great Old One.
Yes.
Oh wait. To actually get that fact, I need to be. Let's see. Oh no, wait. Nope, I didn't say anything. Yeah, that's level
Is
1.
there a prerequisite?
No, that's just level 1. Yeah, you're correct. Oh boy, I'm loving this.
Okay, great. Because if there was a prerequisite, he was going to automatically give it to you. But, yeah, like if you needed extra charisma to become a warlock or anything like that, he would have instantly given it to you.
Yeah. Yeah, I need quite a lot of charisma for that.
So, how much charisma do you need?
Minimum score of 13.
How much do you have?
9.
Currently. 9?
9.
It's pretty
Well,
good.
whatever the number is, it is instantly upgraded to 13.
Woo.
So that way your attacks actually have a chance of doing anything. That's the reason why.
Okay. I get Dissonant Whisper and Tasha's Hideous Laughter.
Yes, basically, yes. He's the god of insanity, so that works.
So let me add them to my list for now, since, I
You
do
also
need
get
to have.
all of things. You can pick spells.
Mhm.
Yeah, you have all the basic stuff for being a warlock. Suddenly.
So I'm
But something
going.
else is gonna happen. He's not just giving you that. Because he promised to get you out of this situation.
Oh fuck.
So something else is gonna happen. I'm just giving you a chance to acclimate to your new abilities that you have.
The one thing every warlock should pick is Eldritch Blast, no matter what.
Well, yeah, you have that, but you have other things too that you can
Yeah,
do.
I need to. Oh boy, do I need to set up a lot.
Yeah, this is a really weird multi-class.
I know.
But
I know a second cantrip, and I have no clue which one that will be. Oh wait, the 2 spells I know are my pact spells. No, wait.
No, you know 2 spells and the pact spells as well.
yeah, the pact spells are automatic, so you get to choose other ones.
But you only
Okay.
have 1 spell slots for level 1, so.
Yeah, you only have one spell slot.
You have one separate tiny spell slot. Oh boy.
But you also have the spell slots for your class, your regular class.
Yeah.
So you can use those, I think, to cast those spells as well. I don't know. Not exactly sure on multi-classing.
Up to your ruling, I'd say. Oh, whatever you want.
Yeah,
Then I'll
it's,
allow it. You can cast any of your spells that you have access to with any spell slot you have.
oh boy.
I
Oh
cast
boy.
my 9th level spell slot with my 9th level spell with my 1st level spell slot. Is that
No, you can cast
all the way
the
around.
spells that require the proper level spell slot with the proper level spells.
Yeah, I realized that's what you meant.
Wisdom save. On a failed state, it creates T3 and must immediately use its reaction available to move as far as its speed allows away from you. The creature doesn't move into obvious dangerous ground, such as fire or a pit. On successful save, the target takes half as much damage and doesn't have to move away. A deafened creature automatically succeeds. So yeah, that's Dissonant Whisper for now.
Okay, I'll let you start doing your other things while I describe what else is gonna happen.
Okay.
Okay. And this is all based on a whim that he had earlier in his shenanigans that he got into.
Yeah, I was a curious little shit. I wanted
Either way,
to know a thing.
yeah, he wanted to know a thing, so then he consulted an insane person who apparently had a patron god that he wasn't aware of. So,
Yep.
either way,
Now he praises Cthulhu. He's ridiculous.
You'll see in a minute. Because the voice is actually disembodied, but the only form he's seen so far is a beholder. So, the first thing that happens is suddenly the sky in the area changes color. The sky turns from a regular bluish, nice tropical air, no clouds in the sky whatsoever. Suddenly you just see dark gray clouds start to swirl around and the sky is green underneath it. You
Oh,
have
boy,
a
what have I
feeling
done?
something's happening. And
What have
everybody
I
on the
done?
ship is looking up, confused. That's the first thing that happens. You have them distracted if you want to do anything.
Oh, the distraction. Break the fucking ladder to less than those numbers.
Okay, the Emerald Knight falls back into the rowboat, because that's who was left on there.
Wait, no, it was just me and then Jar, and then break the thing. Right?
Yes, but you took a second because you summoned your armor and you were like, whoa! So another guy came up, which was the other guy that was on the boat. And
Oh, right.
you knocked the Emerald Knight off the ladder and he's back on the boat. There's another guy on the ladder, or on the boat, but he wasn't on the ladder yet.
Wait, you said 2 swords and then 5 around me. That means there are more, right? Or what?
There's tons of people on the deck of the ship.
Yeah.
But you were on a rowboat. Rowboats can only hold so many people.
Okay, that's very fair.
They
That's
can't
seriously
hold
very fair.
10,000 people. A rowboat cannot.
Yeah.
I mean, I can be lenient sometimes, but a rowboat cannot hold 10,000 people. I'm sorry.
But you can be lenient, you said.
Not 10,000.
Okay, yeah.
So, everybody's distracted. You knock the ladder off, so the Emerald Knight falls back into the boat. But what else is happening? What are you doing?
Preparing to attack.
Yar, you have a chance to do something as well, if you want. You see the sky suddenly change colors after he said, I'm gonna accept this.
How many people are pointing guns at me right now?
Oh,
Currently
0 at
nobody,
you.
because they're looking at the sky in awe.
Well, 0 at you, all at me. Well,
would
not
like-
anymore.
I
0
would like-
at any of you.
So
They're just sort of like, what?
I would like to jump off the boat, if that is available.
Excuse me?
And
You can choose to do that if you wish.
while I do that, I will do some things.
Sure.
I will cast both. Let's see here.
Cast boat. Summon
Cast-
boat.
I cast boat.
Oh,
Here
no.
it is.
It's just this large ship starts firing away at the enemies.
I will cast
No,
Warding Bond on him,
Okay.
which is
So
an
you
action.
change your target of warding bond. Okay.
Yes, and I will cast Bless on both of us, which is a bonus action, I believe.
Okay.
And that is an action, I think.
Oh, okay.
Less.
So bonus action.
Well, they're distracted, so I'll allow it.
Oh, yeah,
I'll allow
yeah.
you enough turns to cast those things.
Yeah, I will cast Shield of Fate instead. That's
And
a bonus.
Oh
Okay.
boy.
We can, oh, yeah, 1 concentration. That's true.
Oh,
so
on
you can
him.
pick.
So both of you on the, and I will jump off the boat. Good luck.
Okay, great.
I
Perfect.
think I'm gonna
I will
need
try
it.
to hide in the water.
Okay, you jump in the water. Everybody seems distracted by what's currently happening.
Yeah.
Okay? That everything? For now?
That's everything.
Okay, for you.
For
All
me.
right. So you start swimming away, thematically. Jazai, what are you doing?
You got
I-
+3 AC now, by the way.
Plus, wait, 3?
3.
Yeah, 1 from the warding bond. And you take half damage to everything. Just keep that in
Yes.
mind.
Have fun.
Oh. Well, have fun indeed. Oh, okay, +3. Okay.
Yeah,
And you
you
can also
see
cast your own.
the green sky and the clouds swirling in a very not natural manner.
I
You can
have
also-
no
Above you.
clue what's going on. I'm like, did I just cause the end of the world?
All right, are you waiting to see what happens next?
I guess it's
All
You
right.
can- if you want, you can also cast your Shield of Fate, and you have another +2 AC.
Yeah, you do
That-
have a chance to do that if you want.
That's very true. Let's make my AC ridiculous.
What is it now?
24.
Fuck.
Okay, so that happens. The next moment after that happens, you see green lightning bolts strike the deck of the ship. However, they don't seem to do any damage. Instead, what they do is summon these weird-looking green humanoid-looking creatures that have weird tentacles climbing up the side of their face and sort of just wiggling off to the side, and crustacean-looking barnacles growing on this side of the face, and they have like these weird claws that look crustacean in nature,
Someone
sticking
let
out of their
David
body
Jones
in
out of the
various
cage again.
locations. Sorry?
Did someone let David Jones bite up girls again?
Actually, these are.
By the way, do we
I
have
made a
one
bad
more turn
pun.
to cast one more thing?
Sure.
I'll cast that word on him.
Okay.
There you
Okay,
go.
so. You know what these things are because you accepted your mad god.
Because this was a mad plan.
These are known as deep ones. They they're undead that are summoned on the ocean floor. And they're basically are you familiar with Innsmouth?
Innsmouth. No, sadly enough not.
Let me pull that up for you. It's called the Innsmouth Look.
Hold on, where are you pulling this up?
I'm just pulling it up on Google.
Like in the
There,
Hangout or Facebook for me, I don't know.
just a minute. I haven't posted it yet. Because I'm pulling up a picture that describes what I'm describing to you.
Hmm.
Just give me a second. It's loading. Okay. That is not what I wanted, so go back. Open image.
Go back.
Yeah, I opened the link rather than the image. So just give me a second.
Don't think that needs to be
Copy. And I'll throw it up on screen, just so that way people who are watching this don't have to click
Well,
any
not
links
like
or anything.
they can.
I put it in the Google Hangouts. So
Okay.
I'm going to throw it up on screen. They're basically people.
Innsmouth. If you say the curse of Innsmouth, then I know more than enough. Yeah, then I do know what you're talking about.
Well, I said Innsmouth, and you didn't know what I
Yeah,
was
but
talking about. But
Innsmouth
anyway,
didn't
that's
connect me.
fine. That's fine. They're basically regular people that slowly turn into fish people.
Mhm.
That's basically what they are. But in this world, they can be just undead that are summoned at the bottom of the ocean. But they are also living people that are normal people, and then by worshiping this god, they slowly become fish people. Or
Well, I will be the most annoying worshipper he will ever have.
okay, great. So I'm gonna take this off screen. So, you now know that that's what those things are. They're called deep ones. And that you will eventually be one, as long as you maintain your connection to this deity. And they just sort of walk up to the people on the deck, and you just hear they just sort of reach out towards them. They don't even touch them. And suddenly they just go and fall down onto the deck of the ship. And you can sit there and watch if you want.
I go downstairs to actually get, well, hoping that people are there.
Okay, you start heading towards the lower deck, and as that happens, you see 5 lightning bolts just strike in front of you, and you see 5 more of these people, and they're just sort of looking at you expectantly. And suddenly you know that these people are under your command, and you can tell them what to do, what you want them to do.
So I just tell them to get rid of these people.
They
Just
start
sit on the
walking
steps.
down in front of you into the lower decks of the ship.
But don't kill my crew. Hopefully, I don't know.
And one of them just sort of turns around and speaks in deep speech to you and says,
Hopefully, I understand.
he goes, I already knew that. As he just continues walking down.
That's good. I have no clue what I just did.
You know what you just did, actually. You accepted this god's blessing, and he is willing to give you power in exchange. However, you're going to be his servant eventually. One way or another. You're going to turn into one of these things. You know this, and you know that there are ways to get rid of it, but at least at this moment, you don't feel like you want to.
Because it's kind of handy right now. Oh boy.
Yes.
Ooh. Oh boy, I get a lot of hit points the very first time.
So, you start heading down to the bottom of the ship, and suddenly you get like a flash of an image in your mind, and you can see where the cursed captain is. You suddenly just see him for a second, and then it flashes away. Cursed captain, you suddenly see this weird-looking fish person stand in front of your cell.
Yeah, at this point I'm just holding my red foot in pain.
Yeah, you were hitting the bars for quite a while. You see this weird-looking fish person standing in front of your cell. What do you do?
And I will point at them and I will tell him, you're next once I finish with this door. And I will start kicking the door again.
He just sort of cocks his head to the side, and he speaks in common, saying, I'm here to save you. Why would you hurt me?
I would like to make an insight check on that.
Sure. This is a
Sure.
perfect situation to do that.
Sure, you definitely don't want to inside check the fish people that just came up to your cell just watching you creepily.
Yeah, they have like different parts of a weird fish and underwater creature just sort of attached to them and part of their body. Sort of weird looking. Like they have weird crustacean claws and they have weird tentacles in weird places and things like that. Either way, he's tough to read, but he seems crazy enough to want to help you in this moment.
If you speak the truth, then find my stuff.
As he he looks kind of undead, but he looks kind of alive at the same time. He's in that Cthulhian-esque middle point that you're not sure what he is. And he just sort of walks away, and a different one, because you can tell because there's different parts in different places, comes towards you, and he just drops a chest in front of you.
Okay. And I motion to the door. That's locked.
He walks away. And a different one comes with... He has this little tiny crab claw that has like 5 joints that reaches out towards you through the bars, and he's just sort of looking at you. It's a little tiny crab claw that just comes out of his chest.
Yeah, and I can imagine the question I'm getting from one of these creatures. Are you sure you want to save this one?
So it's just sort of looking at you with this keys dangling from this weird-looking crab claw.
I will take it and I will say, I don't believe we're meant to kill each other today. And I will unlock the gate.
And he says in common, "It would be unfortunate if you killed me." And he just sort of twitches a little bit as he's looking at you.
Yeah, I will just start putting on my gloves and
Yeah, and you see other equipment here too that
Yeah,
isn't yours.
it's just. Oh, okay. What do I find that isn't mine? That's the important part.
You find like Bloodbeard's black pearl. You find
Yes,
other
black
things like that.
pearl. What else do I find? Do I find the whirlwind thing for the ocean? What was that again?
I have no idea what you're talking about in this.
You
second.
know, when we conquered the storm and stuff, there was this artifact that was dropped, and it was given to Blackbeard, the thing that controlled the storms.
Oh yes. There's a couple of things like that, but you have a feeling that there's another chest with a bunch of other stuff in it too, like more chests, because there's lots of stuff that you guys had on that ship.
I will take this chest and I will keep moving towards the other things. I'm just, I need at least the storm items, and I'm sure my other companions would need something too.
Yeah, you see like 7 of these weird-looking creatures just sort of stumbling around in the hallway, carrying various items, trying to do various tasks.
But when I see them passing by with an item, I would like to look at them to see if it's anything good.
Alright, you see one, and it is currently... roll a d20. Because these creatures are insane, so who knows what they have. This one has what looks like a spyglass, just sort of in its hand, as it just sort of nonchalantly walks past you.
Okay, yeah, I will ignore that one, and I will keep looking around.
Alright, there's another one, if you want to look at that one.
Yeah.
It's just holding a random item. You roll a d20. Okay, this one is holding a shoe, as if it's an important item. Okay, I'll let you roll this last one, but that's it.
Yeah, sure.
This one's holding a dirty sock.
Yes.
Even more important than the shoe.
Well,
yeah, he's holding it like it's a treasured item that he should keep.
I'm especially looking for the chests, so do I find those?
Okay, so you see another one that's carrying another chest, but he's carrying it like out of the ship.
Okay.
And it is at that moment that you run into Josiah. He's just sort of like looking around, amazed at everything that's currently happening.
So as soon as he, oh yeah, go on, Ben.
As soon as I see Josiah, I point at the creature and I say, "Bloodbeard stuff. It's all here. We should find it." And I point to the chest he's carrying.
Yeah. I don't know what I did, but I guess I done goofed at the same time. Didn't goof.
And just as he's finished that sentence, you see another guy who's coming up from the lower deck, just about to shoot you with a crossbow, and then one of those creatures just sort of walks towards him, and he goes, "Ah!"
Like I
falls down
said,
the stairway.
I done goof somehow.
I'm like 120 feet away from the ship right now in the water.
Yeah, you see that the other ship, which he claimed was his ship, the guy who was helping you, you see lightning bolts going down on that ship and people screaming on that ship as well.
I suggest we take this ship since the other one has a large hole in it.
Oh, also you see what looks like some of these creatures with little pieces of wood trying to repair the other ship.
Well, I don't think Bloodbeard will be too happy with us, well, abandoning his ship. Let's find him first, which would be fairly handy, you know.
Well, all right. Do you wish to look in this ship or the other? I didn't see him
I
in the
think
first.
he will be on this ship.
Okay, we can go look.
As soon as he says we can go look, you see an image just flash in front of your eyes, and you see Bloodbeard. He's apparently on some sort of torture table, and he has like a weird looking claw thing sticking out of his side that is in the middle of like going in between two of his ribs, and like it looks like it's a mechanism that is supposed to like move the space between his ribs and open them. He appears to be unconscious.
Okay, we better hurry up. The captain is in not such a favorable position currently.
I'm sure you will be able to deal with that. And I will go look for one of the guys with a crossbow.
Okay, so you start walking around. So Jazai,
Captain.
you look at the ground and you see what looks like a green fire leading you towards the destination that you wanted to go.
Okay, well, this is all new and handy and new, boy. I have so much to explain to the captain after this.
All right. I start wondering how the others are doing.
You look around and you see one of these fish people just sort of surface on top of the water, and he just sort of touches his hand on your shoulder, and you see exactly how they're doing. You see what they're doing in this very moment.
Am I teleported over there as well?
No, you just see images of what they're doing. And then
So-
he just lets go of your shoulder, and then he sinks back into the water.
Well, that's creepy.
Yeah. It's the very definition of creepy.
Control.
I can be even more creepy. Any creature I can see, I can telepathically communicate with, even if I don't speak their language.
That's true. You now have gained this power. You don't know what powers he gave you yet. He's just trying to get you out of a dangerous situation that he said he would help you with. So he hasn't taught you anything yet.
Meanwhile, what I'm trying to do is, do I find one of these crossbow guys that I dislike?
Make an investigation check.
Investigation. 19.
Okay. You see one who is currently hiding underneath a bed, but you're not making it known that you see him yet, because he might do something to you if he knows that he sees you. Or
Okay.
you see him, or whatever.
I will kind of just use this ability as I approach him. No, that's the wrong one. Hour of Reaping. As I approach him, and I will tell him that his crossbow won't help him now as I move in to attack him.
Alright. You start moving towards him, and he needs to make a what?
Wisdom save.
Wisdom? Okay, great. This guy's just a regular grunt, so he has a -1 wisdom. 16! Wow.
Well, his crossbow will save him, he believes.
Okay, so he looks like he's about to attack you, and one of these fish people just comes out of a closet that you just noticed was there, and he starts looking under the bed and starts reaching towards him, and he goes, "Ah!"
I tell him that's my prey, and I go and try and drag him the other way.
Okay, so the fish person actually just moves out of the way, and the guy is just sort of like, "Oh, what just happened?" And you go and grab him.
And I will, he's prone, right? Because he's on the floor. So
Yes, but you manage to grapple him and pull him up if you wish, because he's disoriented from the attack from the deep one.
No, I'm just riding his life force. I'm getting temporary HP back from the crossbow dudes that hit me.
Oh, so you're just gonna kill him?
Gotta kill him to get temporary.
Okay, he was disoriented, so I'll just say that you instantly kill him.
Yes, okay.
Alright? And the weird fish person just sort of cocks his head to the side. You see like this weird, like, his half of his face isn't made and instead has this weird like pincer-like thing that keeps retracting and detracting, and he goes, "You are merciless."
I just look at him and I have nothing to speak to him about, so I will just go and sit down and rest. I'm just
Okay.
sit somewhere. I have nothing else to do.
I start making my way to the ship by now.
Okay, so you know that they're safe. But something that you guys... Oh, I'll just let that go. Never mind. Yes, that was suspicious. I was gonna bring something up, but then... Never mind.
Yeah, I know the Emerald Knight, he went away, right? That's
Yeah,
the thing.
he's gone.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah, he's not gonna make it without a big ship or some food.
Yeah, he left the area.
Yeah, I know. I definitely.
Or did he?
No, he did.
He left again.
Yeah, yes, he did. So...
But if we want to, I can easily catch a robot, just saying.
Well, he fell back onto the rowboat, and when he saw that hell was breaking loose, he just ran away.
Yeah.
So either way,
I hope at least now he believes in the curse, even though it wasn't me who did it.
perhaps, who knows? Either way,
Perhaps
so
the curse has finally
the
been
next
moved.
thing that's on the list is you reach to where Bloodbeard is, and it appears that they have slightly opened his chest, and they've applied magical, it's basically magical surgery stuff, so that way he doesn't bleed to death from having his chest open. And it appears that they were just torturing him by prying his ribs apart.
Well, time to fix up my captain.
You do know that you have to almost immediately close the wound, or else he will bleed to death after you remove the magical implementation to hold him open.
It's a good thing I have cure wounds.
Okay, great.
Well,
So-
just make an in check, and I will give you a pretty good hint.
What?
Just roll in check.
Inside? Did you say that?
Yeah, just click your int.
Int.
Intelligence. See,
Yeah.
even a 10 will do. We have a life cleric, I'm just saying.
Well, he's not currently with us, so yeah, I need to heal him myself.
I started on making my way down there for a while ago, so I don't know.
And our captain needs medical attention right
Yeah,
now.
at this moment,
Maybe
he
you
is
can
climbing up the side of the ship.
maybe you can think of me and poof, I'm there. Because
Oh, actually, with that, you do get a flash of your friend climbing up the side of the ship.
Taking too long, the captain needs medical attention right now, and I'm
Okay,
the
that's
close
fine.
one that can do it.
That's fine. I just gave you a chance to realize that, but that's fine.
do I see this?
I'll give you a flash of what he is currently looking at. One of the creatures just reaches over the side of the ship and grabs you on the shoulder, and you get a flash of that image, and then it just sort of tries to get back up onto the ship, falls in the water.
I will
Whee!
start heading my way there, if I can.
All right. So you start walking down there. So he currently, imagine, you guys are familiar with Dead Space, right?
Yeah.
You know how they have like that futuristic thing that you can like hold things in place, and they have like the scene from the second Dead Space game where they have the guy on the surgery table and everything, or it might have been the first one. But basically,
Circuit table second.
either way, they basically have him open, and it has this like blue glow, reminiscent of what I was talking about, kind of holding him open, and his ribs are in an unnatural place, and you can see like his lungs and stuff. It's not good.
Oh boy, I'm
He's
gonna.
still alive. You can tell he's alive.
Yeah, I'm gonna expect. I think I need to expect all my cure wounds to fix that up.
And if you don't start healing it immediately, it'll just like spray a bunch of blood and he'll be instantly dead. So,
Yeah, the moment I can do it, I will just instantly cast it.
alright, you start casting Cure Wounds, you remove the implement, and it closes up, but he's still severely injured and
I
unconscious.
I cast it at 2nd level.
I
Okay,
might-
just
yeah.
give me the roll up of what you're doing.
That's 1.
Okay, that's the first one. He still appears to be severely injured. You've basically
2.
created a. With the first one, I'm gonna describe what's happening. You basically created a very thin film of skin over his wound.
Yeah,
And
that's not gonna do it.
with the second one, you managed to restore at least enough so that way he won't, like, if he moves, he busts his side open and dies. So he appears to
Okay.
be fine for now.
Okay, second one just to be safe.
So with this, oh, you're doing another one. Okay, yeah, it appears like a large scar mark on his side, and his ribs have actually moved back into the proper place with that one.
So Sison just if there's a chair, takes a chair and sits on it and says, "I hope you're doing well, Captain."
He's still unconscious because Cure Wounds doesn't wake him up from that, unfortunately. But
Am I
he's
there
fine.
yet?
Yeah, you start walking in as he just sort of sits down. And you see the guy who's on the torture table.
How fucked up does he look?
He's still missing approximately like 50 hit points. But he'll live.
Channel Divinity healing from 35. There you
Okay.
go.
Great. So
That's
he's almost to full hit points, but he's just resting because he was tortured apparently.
yeah, but he's fine now, right?
Yes. He will live for sure. Now.
So Josiah's just sitting there waiting. He's just gonna wait until the captain wakes up.
Okay. So the only person who hasn't said that they're gonna just wait for a long time is Yar. So Yar, what are you doing?
I will look for proper armor and maybe a weapon, if there is one.
There's a bunch of crazy people. Like, you go back up on top of the deck, and the people who were being attacked by those weird fish people, they're now just sort of standing up, looking around as if they have no idea what's going on. You could easily just disarmor one of them if you want. So what kind of armor do you want?
What armor is there?
Any kind you want.
Plates?
So what kind do you want? Yeah, plate. You can have plate if you want.
I would like plates. Is it
right.
enchanted as well?
No,
Oh,
unfortunately. But it's better than what you got.
that's for sure. Is there any shields?
Yep. You grab a shield.
Sweet.
You can grab any number of varieties. There's like bucklers, there's like tower shields, there's the whole run of the mix. So you can stylize that however you want.
Tower shield sounds fun.
Alright? It gives you the same bonus, but I can flavor certain blocks to be really cool.
And I will. Is there any particular weapon that stands out from the others?
Make an investigation check.
Fuck.
There is one that stands out from the others. However, it's not for the reason that you want it to. It's just a two-handed halberd. Like, it's got a blade on the top, a curved blade. It's like a polearm.
Is there anything I can sense magical about any weapons?
Unfortunately, with that investigation, no.
Oh, I get it. Is there like a flail or one-handed weapon around here?
Yeah, you can take one of those. In fact, this one's on the rack. They didn't have a chance to take it off.
Oh, sweet. And
You're like proficient in heavy armor and shields and all that stuff. So
of course, I'm a cleric. And yeah, Anything else? Can I loot the bodies or something? There are also bodies.
Well, there's a bunch of guys just sort of wandering around in a daze. You can do whatever you want with them.
I mean, the fish people, or
No, the people that they attacked. They're mentally gone.
I would like to loot them while they're in a daze.
Fair enough. I'll say that you wander around for a while. I'm not going to make you roll an investigation or anything like that. You find a total of 400 gold pieces.
All right. To start.
All right.
So we're taking a short rest, right? At this
He's
point?
not, but you guys are. He's spending this time looting.
Yeah. I get nothing back from short rest, so whatever.
So I'm just trying to figure out, like I'm just looking at the Black Pearl and the other relic, the Control Storm relic, see what they can do.
Okay. The Black Pearl. You've seen it in action before. Basically, it has a bunch of stored firearm weapons in it, and if you call out the name of a particular firearm weapon, like a blunderbuss or foot or anything of those nature, it will fall through the air into your hand, and when you fire it, it instantly goes back up into the area and instantly gets reloaded. Because you've seen this in action before.
I will just say you will be not keeping this.
Who knows?
Yeah, Bloodbeard has ownership of it.
Yeah.
Basically, you can put any weapon in it. It makes one attack. You can make one attack with it after calling it out. And if it has a reload, if it needs to be reloaded, it automatically gets reloaded.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I do not have need of it, and I am assuming I see the cleric just scrounging because he's on deck, right?
Yeah, he'll walk by where you are.
Okay, so I will say, I found this, but it's not for me, and I will give you a black pearl. You want it?
What is it?
It's a pearl.
Ooh.
It's a
Sure.
when you look at it, it looks like a pearl about this big, and it is black in color.
What does it do?
Nothing useful. And I sit back down again.
You can spend 10 minutes with it to find out what it does.
I spent 10 minutes staring at the pearl.
Okay, after those 10 minutes, we'll see what happens. But we're going to switch perspectives here, and we're going to switch to Jazai. Bloodbeard awakens on the torture table. What's happening?
Well, we took over the ship and I did the dum-dum again.
Why does everything have a green tint to it?
That's one
He's
part
just
of
sort
it.
of looking around. And you notice
Yeah.
that, yes, there's actually a green tint in the air now.
Yeah, Jazai's just very calm and relaxed about it. Yeah, that's the thing. You know that voice that I was talking about?
What was that character's name again? The crazy one?
I don't know.
Ah, that's gonna annoy me.
Yeah.
I think it was like something generic, like Jerry or something like that. Anyway,
Something.
doesn't matter. He's a very minor bit role.
Yeah.
He's like, oh no, you're not becoming Jerry, are you?
Well, I'm not like Jerry yet, but I was out of options.
That's gonna make you incredibly useless after a while.
Well, as long as I don't devote myself to crazy voice, then I think I will be fine.
One of the fish people just sort of nonchalantly walks by with like a with like a whetstone in his hands, and he's just sort of looking at it, and then walks by.
Josiah's like, go on.
What was that?
My quote-unquote voice friend that's sending in his troops to save me from like 25 guns trained at me so that I didn't get locked up, and now we can go on our merry way again.
Alright. So what's our next move?
Well,
I mean, I'm sort of at a loss here.
well, I think we lost a big part of our crew. We got 2 ships now, and I don't know how many provisions we have, and the smartest thing I can think of is going back.
You get a flash in your mind. You have a full underdeck of provisions suddenly. And all your crew. They look slightly weird, some of them, but they're all there. Some of them have like these weird green lines on them where they had fatal wounds, such of that.
So, Desai just rubs his face, goes like, "Oh, you don't want to know what I just saw."
Just get me out of here and back to our ship.
Well, it's kinda important, because, this deity slash god of my slash whatever is, for some reason, helping us to keep going on our journey.
Okay, great.
Yes,
Just get me back to our ship.
yeah, just hold on, here comes the bad news. It gave us food, and also brought back some of the crew, but with a weird green tint. I don't trust it.
Well, just have to deal with it for now.
Okay. Well, you better be careful, Captain. You are not at 100% yet, but I thought I saw the cursed Captain have some of your. Well, did I ever see him have his stuff?
No, you didn't. You were just waiting in this room for him to wake up.
Yeah, the cursed Captain is on a top deck, and well, we have 2 ships now.
You hear a voice in the back of your mind saying, "No, you only have one."
Okay, I've been corrected by my very nice patron god that I only have 1 ship now.
The other is for the mad ones we've just created.
So let's get back to our ship, Captain. The Jedi just picks him up, because he can. He's a strong boy.
Yep, sure. And you start, and anybody who's on top deck, you start seeing the guys who are just sort of glazed over and crazy looking. They just start going to different positions on the ship, as if they know what they're doing.
Okay.
Alright, so Josiah, I assume you walk top deck?
Yeah, I first get any jacket, coat, or whatever you can put over the captain's back, and just put it over him.
Yeah, it was in the room.
Yeah,
His
just
was in the room.
yeah, put it over his back, and well, carry him back to the deck, and then be like, "So, how are we getting to our ship?" Don't say this ship is going to park directly beside our ship. Lay out the
start-
plank, and we can walk over it.
Yes, and you start seeing the people who are now insane. They're just sort of looking with horrified looks on their faces, with like their eyes are covered in this green film, and they're just sort of just looking around, and they turn the ship, and it starts moving directly next to your ship, and one of them just offers the plank over.
Yes, I just sighs a bit and goes like, predictable.
However, your crew looks fine. Even the ones that have the weird green glowing parts. They appear to be fine, and they don't look crazy or anything.
Yes, the side just walks over with the Hulku and tells them what that have like weird green glow and say, "Go see the clerk about that. I want just to be sure."
I thought I was dead. But now I'm here.
That's why.
Alright. And each one of them will inevitably go.
I will be asking the cleric later if you actually went to him.
Yeah, they're gonna go to someone who is considered a healer on the ship.
Mhm. Oh yeah, Captain. Before we actually walk on our ship, I want to perhaps introduce our newest member, if you're willing to accept him.
Look, if he helped you get our ship back, and he's willing, he's part of our crew.
Okay. So I just look at the cursed captain and Yar and tell him, "Get on board. We're leaving this ship."
Get on board with while staring at the pearl.
Alrighty.
Do
Okay.
I actually notice him having the black pearl? That's actually a big thing. Do I? Yes, no, I don't know.
Make a perception check.
Perception.
No. You're too worried about the captain.
Yeah.
Alright?
Right.
And the cursed captain inevitably, I assume, goes back to the proper ship.
Yeah, I said I went over as well.
I
Okay.
tell the cursed captain to take any valuable loot you can take anything that's ours off that ship and lay it on the deck so that the people can, well, put it in the proper place.
And you start seeing some of the fish people carrying over certain boxes.
Yeah.
As soon as you say that.
Like
Yeah,
I don't even need to think about it anymore.
Yeah, so all your loot is going to be returned.
Plus interest.
Well, the interest, unfortunately, has been gathered by one of your crew members. So that interest is in his possession.
Mhm. Well, we're at least back on our ship, and yeah, well, Josiah will have put the Bloodbeard, Redbeard. I don't know anymore what his name was.
Weird.
Bloodbeard. In his on his bed in his cabin, and close the door behind him. Then look at Jar and tell him, "Well, introduce yourself to the ship."
Hello, I'm Yar. I'm acting as the healer, I suppose.
That's
Alright,
one
a
of.
couple of people instantly just walk towards you.
Okay.
Hold on, you guys. He's one of the healers. Remember, we have more than just one healer on the ship.
Yeah, a couple of the guys that you told to go see the healer are walking towards him.
Ah.
Before you, before you decide to join the crew, I'm gonna come up to you and I'm gonna tell you if you're sailing with us, then you will die a horrible death underwater, drowning. As the rest,
Why is that?
It's because of his curse, he says. When we all know by now, the less we believe in that, the less likely it will happen.
I have something that can remove curses. Maybe that could help.
is cursed the moment I stepped on it. It's only a matter of time.
Would you be interested to let me try it on you?
You can cast your
I'll be
magic,
right back.
but it won't do anything.
Okay. I cast remove curse on you.
Okay. He casts remove curse on you. You feel some sort of magic pulse through you.
Yeah. I will
Now
just
the
go.
question is, do you believe you're cured?
I don't believe I'm cured. I mean, I've spoken to people after the ships. I've been on several ships that have sunk, and it hasn't helped so far. So I'm just gonna move to the front of the ship, believing it's gonna die a horrible death.
Yes, and just for
Even
his
though
sake.
Jazai has told you
Oh,
10
Jazai
billion times
actually
to-
has the information, so he can tell you.
Yeah, Jazai has told you that the less you believe in it, the less it will happen or even stop happening. So
Okay.
I'll just say that he knows this information. It is a creature that feeds on belief. So if he believes he's cursed, the creature will still exist.
Oh fuck.
But it will be very weak if only one person is believing in it. The more people
Yes.
believe in it, the stronger it gets.
And he's been going around everywhere spreading the fact that he's cursed. So a lot of people believe he's cursed.
I believe I'm cursed, so you know.
Yeah, he believes he's cursed, so he's spreading around that he's cursed, and he has this magical ability that allows people to be afraid of him. So it makes it even worse.
I don't believe that he's cursed for now, because I used to believe this cursed, right?
Yeah, that's totally fair. You can believe in your magics and your god. Also, I just have a question. But the Emerald Knight, he's got to believe we're cursed now. I mean, didn't he see the ship?
He believes that something happened, but you don't have him there to ask him.
We must question him. Let's go. No.
He just went in that rowboat with that one other guy that he had with him, and he just went away.
He just
Yeah.
started rowing for his life.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was
and the guy said he would only get you out of the situation. He didn't say he would kill everyone. So if they were
Yeah.
running away, he wouldn't have killed them.
Yeah, I was just gonna go to the front of the ship and look out. That's the rest.
Okay. Cleric.
Yes.
Yar, you discover that the Black Pearl is what I just described it to be. It's a thing that can hold weapons, and it has a bunch of weapons held in it. And if they're weapons that need to be reloaded, they are automatically reloaded when they are put back into this. It's basically a not a demi plane, a pocket plane that stores all these weapons in it, and if you call out the weapon's name, then it comes to you, and you can attack once with it, and then it goes back.
Oh, okay. It's not very
Yeah,
useful to me, but sure.
Could you use like a great axe or something with it?
In theory, you could, but you can only attack with it once before it returns.
As a cleric, you can only attack once.
Well, again, that's up to you guys. What you want to do. I
mean,
gave you the opportunity to steal it, so you have it.
I will keep that in mind for now.
Alright. Though there is a crew member who is looking out for it, and it's one of your companions.
Yeah,
So-
I don't know anything
I don't
about
know
that.
that.
He doesn't know that.
I don't know.
Yeah, he
going-
doesn't know.
It's going to go back to his proper owner.
Yeah, and you don't have much use for it, so you might even just give it to him. But either way.
Isn't there a bunch of people that's looking to...
Yeah, they're standing in front of you. They've been ordered by one of their higher-ups to come and see you. So, they're standing in front of you. One of them, the first one that's standing in front of you, it looks like his torso was completely cleaved in half, but there's this weird green magical energy that is holding his torso together.
What happened to you?
I thought I died, and now I'm here in this weird green thing.
I inspect it.
Alright. Yes, his torso is being held together via some sort of magic.
Does he look damaged?
He appears to be, because of the magic, in full health. But there's like this very minuscule space between where his torso should be and where it is. There's like this tiny little space that has green magical energy emanating from it. You have a feeling that if that magic gets dispelled somehow, he will die instantly.
I have Dispel Magic, but I'm not going to use that.
Yeah, it will just basically make the magic go away, and then his torso will just like the top part of his body will just flop onto the ground, and his legs will be disconnected.
Can't you, if you have a gem worth 100 gold, can't you like dispel and then revive him?
He could, in theory, revive him. Yes.
But yeah, that's a lot of money, and it's just crew, so you know.
Yeah, as long as they don't get hurt, then it won't do anything.
Revivify costs 300, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
you need a diamond specifically.
diamonds. So we don't have no diamonds. So I want to try casting Cure Wounds on him, just for the fuck of it,
Okay,
on first level.
sure. You cast it. He takes the healing because you feel the magic pass from you to him. However, the green glow is still apparent.
Nothing changed.
Actually, he had like a little weird sore on his foot. It's gone.
I will relay this information to what was your name again? Desai. That it appears that they are at full health, but if we were to dispel them in any way, they will probably just die because of the green stuff.
Well, still worrying.
Yeah, a couple more come to you with various. It looks like if the part that was missing that is being added by the green magic, like one guy has like half his head with this green glow down the middle of it. Like if was dispelled, they would be dead. And whenever you try to heal them in any shape, form, or fashion, the green glow remains. It's almost as if it's part of them now.
Yeah. I say I can't help them more than I can. So no.
Well, you could, but it would cost a lot of money and be a waste of time.
Waste of time.
So he appears to be giving you the all's clear. They're just got this weird green thing going on with them.
Jai just wants to keep an eye on it because he doesn't completely trust it. Because he just got it from this weird guy that has been like tempting it for days.
That's fair. So the next thing that's gonna happen is the ship with the crazy people on it and the weird fish people. They are going to depart and go in a different direction.
So that's fair, I guess.
So, unless if you wanted to do anything with the crazy people or interact with them in any way.
Oh, if they're fine, I guess they're fine.
I could probably use a long rest.
Okay, great. So you guys are gonna go to sleep.
I will stay very clear.
Desai is just going to make sure that the captain is a-okay.
Alright, I'll allow you to take a long rest while watching over him. That's fine.
Okay.
If you want.
I will stay very clear of all the creature that seems like undead. Like if they're missing half their face, that sort of thing. I will stay very clear of them.
Well, in a way they are. They just sort of have like parts of their body replaced with like these weird deformed parts of aquatic life.
Yeah.
But otherwise they seem like they're fine, like they're they're walking around and they're doing things. They don't appear to be like inanimate dead. They're animate and walking around. And they don't appear to be walking robotically like a undead might.
Okay. If they get close to me or anything, I will just kind of like raise my fist like I'm about to punch them.
One does, and you do so, and then it goes, I wasn't planning on hurting you. And then it just keeps on walking.
Okay. Oh, isn't it like the normal crew? Are they like possessed by this creature as well?
No, the normal crew, your guys' crew, are fine. They seem to have their minds, and they aren't
Ah, okay. I
acting weird.
misunderstood then. I thought our crew was like being like cut up and that sort of stuff.
They are. Some of them are like they appear to be cleaved in half and things of that nature, but they're put back together with this green magical force. So you can tell that they were probably dead at one point. But
yeah, that's the ones I don't like. The ones you're describing there. The fish people I don't mind.
oh, okay. Well, the fish people just sort of walk on by you then. The crew members, like their skin tone and everything is fine. Like their demeanor is fine. They're acting like people, but you can tell that they sustained fatal wounds and they were healed by this unconventional magic.
Yeah.
So you're still gonna steer clear of them?
Yeah,
Just
I'm
making
gonna
sure.
like punch them if they get too close, that sort of stuff. Because I don't like them for cheating death, basically.
Okay, that's fine. I'm fine with that. Your character
Like
is your
we
character.
did it like 20 times already.
No, I mean, I would like if you're dying, you need to make your death saves, in my opinion, or my character's opinion.
Either way. So as that crazy ship begins to leave, so does the green in the sky. It seems like it's in a radius around this ship now. That ship. So now you may have inadvertently created an encounter for some other band of D&D players.
Oh boy! In another universe, they come across this ship.
Perhaps in another campaign, you guys come across that ship.
Oh yeah, the main campaign. Oh boy.
Perhaps. Who knows? But, yeah, the ship just sort of sails away with the weird, crazy people and the weird fish people on it. And the voice goes in the back of Josiah's mind and says, I've actually been looking for a more forthright method of moving around the world. I appreciate it.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, now all those people are his servants, basically.
Oh, I don't have to go crazy. I have more worshippers. Hooray!
He says, oh, that's just a byproduct of having my power. Sorry. Not really. Sorry.
Well, couldn't you, like, not make me go crazy?
I could, but that would be work, and I don't want to do that.
Well, wouldn't it be work to make me go crazy? But
No. That's easy.
well, that means you're still doing work for it to make me go crazy. But if you don't do it, then you don't do it at all. So less work, meaning no work.
It's harder to suppress my true being.
As noted by, well, the half undead dead guys, you know.
Oh yeah, their craziness is embodied on their physical appearance. Your craziness will either be that or your mind, which is what I did with the rest.
Okay, well, good thing I'm a smart guy that won't go so crazy very fast, hopefully.
Oh, you're already halfway there, buddy, and you can feel like he's trying to pat you on the back.
Halfway there, yes, I know. I mean, my adventures are madness, but this is more madness than I can handle.
You can Remember, you could ask me to try removing your curse. That's the thing.
Well, it's not a curse. It's actually just a power I have right now. Woo.
Yes, it's actually an extension of his being a warlock. It's just how his being a warlock is going to work.
You need a higher level spell called Dispel Warlock.
Or perhaps
Technically, in my universe, there is a de-leveling spell. It's a 9th level spell, but you can eventually
Yeah.
learn it if you want.
It's
Oh.
called Wish.
Well, yeah, there's that, but there's also a specific spell that's a 9th level spell that can just de-level somebody
Yeah, I just
permanently.
thought of
So
something
can
as
it,
well.
can it de-level a specific level?
It can de-level any level in anything. So you
I
can
just
specifically
Thought
target.
of something. If he wants me to go crazy, why not make things that are crazy? So, well, crazy is output in another way.
He hears your thoughts in this direction. And he inputs, do you want the powers?
Yes. I mean, they're handy.
Then you have to choose either physical appearance or mental capacity.
Well, I use my mental capacity to, work on my suit.
Fine, I'll just make you look crazy later on.
Easily to be hidden.
As he flashes you an image of one of those guys who had like weird barnacles and crustacean pieces added onto them.
Oh, more work to do.
He just laughs to himself. But you can hear.
God, I'm gonna get so annoyed about this very soon, aren't I?
So he says, perhaps not. Because now that you have my power, it's actually going to be harder to communicate with you. And I'm lazy. So, bye! And you don't hear his voice anymore.
Freedom!
But yes, now you can only communicate with him via... It's a spell, like a cantrip, that you have, that you can communicate directly with him.
Okay, yeah.
So you have to initiate communication with him.
So what's... Wait, do I have a cantrip for that?
No, I'm giving you one.
Oh, okay.
That does only that.
Okay. That's handy dandy. Not that I'm gonna use it anytime soon.
If you need information from him, then that would be a good way to get that. But unless if he has something important for you, he will not communicate with you anymore.
Hooray.
Because giving you power is more effort than he's willing to put to also communicate with you.
That's very nice and very handy and very much yay!
But he kept trying to communicate with you because he could, and he wanted to. He wanted you to have his power.
Yeah, I was just now in a very desperate corner, which I really needed to use it.
Yeah, so now he's just gonna let you go, and he gives you a faint inkling in your mind. You just have this feeling of your new powers, so you know how to use the rest of your powers that you've just gained.
Huzzah.
So
Well,
you
before
guys,
going to bed, I did say I was watching over the Bloodbeard.
oh yes, that's still happening. So you guys take a long rest as you guys are heading towards your original intended destination.
Progress.
All right, so you guys are heading in that direction. Cool. So you guys wake up and you don't see any land masses within visual sight of the ship when you awaken. And
Okay.
Yar, you have been given a ramshackle very rudimentary place to sleep in the area where the healers are working. So you can rest there if you want.
Oh, sweet.
It's out in the open, and if people are walking by, they walk by and they make a little bit of noise. And like, you don't have a private quarters, at least as of yet. You just have an area that's next to the place where the sick people go. So if somebody gets an injury, then you just hear like in the middle of the night while you're trying to sleep. That sort of thing.
Sure. I'm used to it. Prison times.
Either way, that's what you have to deal with for now. So you guys awaken in your respective locations. I'm gonna say that it's gonna take a couple of days to get to where you needed to go from where you are currently. So you guys can do anything for a couple of days.
Well, Josiah will be experimenting with his newfound powers.
Yeah, and you find that you can cast a limited extra number of spells that you couldn't cast before, which could come in handy. Though you feel this weird little voice start creeping into your mind that you have a feeling is insanity. However, he assured you that it was going to be mostly physical because you need your mind. So, but you still hear this weird voice, like it's like a whisper that you can barely understand, and you sort of turn around and see nobody's behind you.
So Josiah will be like, I thought I warned you not to. I thought I needed to contact you instead of you talking just to me.
And you
It's
notice
unno-
that he would have been louder if he was talking to you. So then you're just like, wait, that can't be it. Oh, crap, sort of thing.
So he just starts mumbling to himself like, damn it.
Yeah. And you do feel like this itching sensation on certain parts of your body that shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
Can I find the cursed captain?
Sure,
Well,
he's
that's
usually
okay,
just
but
sitting on
probably
the deck.
I would like to ask him. Do you want to punch any sharks or something? It's quite a long ride.
Punch any shark.
That Prudence has already done that.
I have something that can allow you to do that.
Well, what do you have? Past time.
It's true what he says. The sad part is he actually did that once before.
Yeah,
It's
he's actually done that before.
yeah, but it's easier this time. Maybe you can punch any whales as well.
Show me what you can do.
I cast freedom of movement on you,
Okay.
so now you can. Here it is.
Yeah, basically the restrictions that water would give you are no longer applied.
Okay.
Go nuts.
So I feel a bit light, and I will dive out to the. How quick is the ship moving, by the way?
It moves about 40 feet per round.
Okay. So I will move about 90 feet per round for a little while and go swim like further ahead of the ship and see in the ocean if I see anything.
Okay, make a perception check. You did warn him how long the spell would last, correct?
Yeah.
Probably not.
Okay.
I always say 1 hour.
Okay.
Okay. So. Because I was going to say that if he doesn't know, he's just going to keep swimming until it runs out. Okay. So, you don't see anything dangerous in front of the ship. But you do see, like, things that the ship wouldn't be affected by, but kind of like weird fish swimming by.
And I will cast one more thing before he decided to leave. I will cast tongues on you so you can talk to fish.
I don't think the cursed captain is the talking type. I think he's more the punching type.
Yeah, but so we can threaten them first.
But,
and then...
but I understand what the fish are saying, right?
Yeah.
So, what
As
is
long as the fish can speak.
yeah, it needs to know our
Oh,
language.
boy.
That's true.
Yeah, it's not speak with animals. It's a different spell. So as long as it has a spoken language, it can speak to it.
I will just look at the fish. Does it look tasty?
Roll a d20. And I'll describe what it looks like based on the d20. Okay, great. It looks like a cross between a frog and a what are those things called? A manta ray.
Okay. It's like a delicatessen or something like that.
It's a really weird looking creature. It's got weird frog legs, and it's got like this weird wingspan, kind of like a manta ray.
Great.
Okay.
So you can decide whether or not that is tasty.
Doesn't seem too tasty. I'm gonna keep swimming.
Okay. It just sort of, it sees you swimming and it tries to keep up with you, but you're much faster than it.
Oh, okay. As it tries to keep up with me, I'm just gonna turn around and I'm gonna yoink it and pull it with me.
Okay, so you're gonna grab onto it?
Yeah, I'm gonna yoink it and I'm gonna swim super fast with it in my hand.
Okay. It's approximately, it's got a wingspan approximately the same size as my arms. My
Yeah.
arm span. So it's quite a large creature.
Okay.
It's considered medium-sized.
Yeah. It's
So,
quite large.
no, it's not large. It's
Yeah.
considered medium. And it's got these weird frog legs, and you start grabbing onto it, and it doesn't resist as you start pulling it along.
Okay, so we go super quick, straight ahead.
Yes. And it just sort of looks, it moves its head slightly towards you.
You just look at it too, and then we keep swimming.
You found a reason for living again.
I will just stay out here now in the sea.
Alright, I'll give you another perception check before you have to return.
20.
Yeah, you see another couple schools of fish. It's nothing dangerous, but if you wanted to hunt something and bring it back on the ship, you could.
Okay.
These ones are more of tropical-looking fish. Just schools of them swimming by you.
Seeing as this creature is just kind of following me, I'm just gonna point to the schools of fish and I'm gonna say hunt, and I'm gonna swim down in the ocean and grab as many as I can from one of the schools.
Alright, it just sort of detaches from your grip and it just swims down and it just has its mouth open and it just devours a bunch of them. And you can try to grab some of them if you want.
Yeah, sure. I will do my tactic. I will swim down and will punch as many as I can, making them float to the top level.
Okay, great. And you're about 700 feet in front of the ship at this point.
Yeah. So I'll have time. Then I'll just start seeing fish appear one after another after another.
Yeah. The only problem with punching them this way is that you deal necrotic damage, and it makes part of the meat rotten. That's the only problem with this.
I'm used to it. It's fine.
Alright. I'm gonna say you deal like 5 rounds worth of them
guys,
before they swim away.
not to imply time, but it's like 5 minutes, nearly 25 past 2 here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna let you deal with this situation. I'm gonna see if anybody else wants to do anything for that little bit of time, and then we'll close.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. All I was planning to do was have a chat with the captain to see what the hell had happened.
Okay, so before we get to that, you get like, so 5 rounds times 3 is 15.
Yes.
Yep.
So you get 15.
Rotten fish.
Well, partially rotten.
Partially rotten.
Yeah, because if he hits them in like the brain, then it rots their brain, but you might not want to eat the brain. So you can eat the good parts. You can cut around it because it was supernaturally enforced rot. So
Mhm.
it's not like the rest of it has gone bad. It's just that one part.
Yeah. I will.
So the weird manta ray frog creature just sort of looks up at you and it waves its weird looking frog hand at you, and then it just sort of swims away.
Yeah. One of the few creatures I haven't killed. That's so then. It got
Well,
lucky.
it doesn't know how many things you've killed. It just sees you as a nice person who gave it a meal and then left.
See, I should put my alignment to good now.
No, it doesn't
No.
change your alignment.
Oh.
Just because you're nice to one creature doesn't change your alignment.
That's not how it works. What? But I only was slightly terroristic. Come on.
You kill half a town, and then you're nice to one creature. No, it doesn't change anything.
Damn, it was worth a try. Nearly got him.
Yeah, because they killed a bunch of civilians in this one town, which is why the bounty hunters were after them in the first
Well,
place.
civilians?
They were scientists.
Scientists?
Just because they were doing
to
experiments
be
you
fair,
found
you did-
unethical doesn't mean that they're not scientists.
You did.
Scientists that just stabbed me to death because they could?
I mean, to be fair, before that, you did threaten
You
a
froze time and
shopkeeper.
stole from them.
What?
Not
I
forgetting
can.
your suit that was blowing up the whole town, according to
Yeah,
you.
that's true.
Threatening all of the guards.
Oh yeah, you unleashed the mask. That was the problem. The mask just let them kill you.
Yeah. Too
Yeah.
bad for the mask. Now it can't do that anymore. Ah,
I forget what happened to the mask.
I think we
I
smashed it?
left it there. Or I found it, but I didn't take
Yeah,
it.
you were unconscious, so you had no say in this.
Oh yeah, that's
Geo.
true.
So they just left it there because they saw no use in it and thought it was a little dangerous. So they just left it
No,
there.
I thought we weren't fated to cross paths, so I just left it.
Yeah. So those scientists could eventually come back with you with one of those guys wearing the mask.
Oh,
Eventually.
Oh, good.
But-
Oh, goody.
But who knows? Perhaps he will just stay where he wanted to be because he wanted them to experiment on it. As you remember, he wanted them to experiment on them because they were like extracting evil gunk from him, and he
Mm-hmm.
was enjoying that.
You
Either way.
sure did.
Because he thought that it was folly for them to control him, and that's what they were attempting to do. So he was finding it enjoyable. Either way. Yeah, what does everybody else do? Because he had his little bit of fun.
Like that, I am just waiting by Bloodbeard, so Yar.
Yeah, he wakes up after a while.
I'm
Yes,
just,
so
What
I'm
did you want to
first
talk to
Yar.
him about?
I'm just passing time by observing the fucked up crew, how the scars are and stuff.
Okay, sure. Yeah, some of the people who have that weird green glow come to you with various other ailments, and this weird green glow stuff it's kind of itching, causing an itch that you want to scratch, but you're not sure how to, what else to investigate about it.
I asked one of them, "Do you want me to put you out of your misery?"
He goes, "Well, I'm alive and I'm useful, so why would I want you to kill me?"
No, I'm just saying, if I dispel you, it would be painless.
Well,
Unless you're happy with your form.
I'm fine. Other than this weird green stuff, I'm perfect.
All right. Good on you.
He just sort of smiles as you're tending to, like he has a wound on his arm that he got from um, trying to. He was doing something with ropes, and the rope just sort of moved quickly past his arm, and it caused rope burn on his arm.
All right.
So you just sort of tend to his wounds, make sure that it's not going to get infected or anything.
I guess I'll heal like minor wounds if people have them.
Okay. Yeah, this guy, he's fine, pretty much. It's just going to go away after a couple of days.
Sure.
But other guys come in with more serious wounds and such. Like one guy, apparently, he was fiddling around with one of the cannons to make sure it was in good shape, and apparently it wasn't, and it kind of blew up in his face. And he has like a black burn mark all over his face. So you heal that guy, I'll say. But no big threats are going to come for the next day, so you heal him and use your spell, and he's fine.
Sure.
Okay, so last person we're going to switch to. So
Mhm.
you're going to talk to Bloodbeard. Anything important?
Yeah, I'm asking him what the hell happened while we were gone. Like,
Well,
I
we
don't
were
know
searching for you, but apparently so were they.
oh boy, that's not good.
So we ran into them, few, maybe 20 or 30 miles off the coast. We got into a fight, a skirmish, and well, you saw what happened.
Well, we can at least say we got the ship back.
Let me just say they came prepared that time. They got the better of us.
Always a bad thing when they do that.
Perhaps next time we shouldn't kill people in a town.
Well, to be fair, they did attack first.
Well, they did hurt you, which is why we were okay with hurting them. But
That's also very true.
still, perhaps we should restrain ourselves next time.
Yeah, a bit of a statement, Andy, but hell, it wouldn't be our first bounty on our head.
Well, perhaps when they see what happened to their that set of bounty hunters, they'll think twice before sending anyone our way.
That's very true.
Well, if that little green guy ever gets anywhere. I assume he ran away again, right?
It's tiny. Yeah, he ran.
Yeah, he's not the bravest, I don't think. Oh, of course,
Oh.
when you see people raining from the sky and causing your crew to go insane, I guess you don't have much of a choice.
Yeah, that's very true.
That was an awesome power, but is the cost really worth it?
I did say no, but I did have very little choice.
Well, if you ever need some money to pay a shady magic user to try to fix this, you know who to turn to.
I know, Captain. You watch out for me, and you watch out for the crew.
if I don't have a crew, I don't have anybody to raid with.
Or raise
So
a
I might as
town
well
with.
take care of the ones I got, huh?
That's very true. Well, we still have as well. I mean, if this keeps going, who knows what the. No offense to the guys that got back from the dead, but I don't feel very much trust in, well, still my very handy friend that
Well,
gave me these powers.
well, I've always trusted your discretion. So, if you were suspicious, feel free.
Well, suspicious is putting it lightly.
Well, do whatever you need to do.
I will, Captain.
The crew will understand, including the ones you're suspicious of, so.
So let's just hope that it doesn't get too much out of hand.
Agreed. I mean, you've taken care of me more than once when I was on the enemy side. If you remember the beginning of this side story. He had a worm in his brain. It was being controlled by somebody.
Oh, yes, Captain. But yeah, I mean, what would the crew be without their captain?
What would the captain be without his crew?
Captainless crew and the crew without a captain, just a pack of bandits.
Fair enough. We need each other. That's why I take care of you guys. I pump myself up, but usually it's a little bit of bravado. All
Bravado.
fake.
Not for me, but I think what we just pulled off is something we won't pull off anytime soon anymore.
He starts looking at his possessions. I'm missing a few things.
Yeah, I think there might be with your the treasures.
Perhaps I'll have to go and take a look.
Or you can ask around. I mean, they might have found it nice or shiny. I don't know.
Well, with your newfound friend, we've gotten a few shiny upgrades for some of our crew, as you've said.
Yeah.
Perhaps I've gotten a few shiny upgrades myself. He starts looking at
Well,
himself.
well, I wouldn't worry about that. This old artificer still knows how to fix someone up.
Well, if you do find any of my possessions, just let me know. I'll go check the treasure later. Unless if
I
you
will, Captain.
didn't need anything else.
For now, I don't need anything else than just to make sure that the crew is fine and you are fine.
Well, just keep those people in mind. Otherwise, I don't see any problems.
I sure will. And for now, I finally will get some shut-eye, because I've been, well, restless for a few hours. He literally hasn't taken a long rest just to make sure that the captain will survive.
Okay. I was gonna give it to you, but that's okay.
Yeah.
And he goes, alright. You know where your quarters are still, correct?
If they are still there, that is.
They should be. Everything looked fine when you were carrying me here.
Well, let's see, and good night, Captain. Well, day, whatever it is.
He waves to you.
He leaves, like, meekly waving and then just heads off to his own quarters.
Alright. And that is where we're going to end up.